Do that. Hey, yo, what's up?
I don't like it.
Are we recording yet?
We're speeding. We're recording.
We're
hot.
breezing through
There's a
this.
red dot up there on the upper right.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
Hi.
There's a red dot?
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, it's a sniper dot.
Oh.
It's a sniper dot. All right, here we go.
Government.
Hi. Hello. Welcome one.
That's not the intro.
I
Oh,
know.
you're right.
That's the wackest intro.
I was going to get to it.
You know, we have a special guest
leading
today.
up to it. Welcome one, welcome all to episode 29 of the None of Our Business podcast.
Woo-woo.
We are your gracious hosts.
Yes.
Hostess
Philly.
with the most.
Philly fanatic.
That's me.
Philanthropy, philosophy,
Yes.
P Money, Silent Tempo,
It's
Sane.
all true.
You peeking?
All of it.
We got Keenan.
Just Keenan.
C.
I'm
Duncan.
Just Keenan.
CNN Dunkaroos. C-section.
Oh,
Section
God.
9. Keenan. I don't know.
Section.
What happened to the
C-section
other
is my
one?
least
C-section.
favorite one.
Oh.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. Making everybody dislike
It's not
me right
you.
out the
It's
front.
not you. It's him.
Horrible.
I know, it's me.
I'll be associated with that.
All right. And I'm Joe.
And
Podcast.
that's
We
Joe
have a
Mama.
very lovely guest today. Coming straight from a little show situation in Vegas. Or
It was
you
a
getting into?
burlesque Hall of Fame weekender. So I was not performing.
Oh, okay.
I was just networking and celebrating and dancing and staying up way too late. Although I was not. This is a first for me of this weekend. I did not end up in a hotel room watching the sunrise snorting cocaine with a particular legend.
I mean,
So
I did not.
sometimes
I did not.
Like Tommy Wiseau, I did
The
not.
disappointment in that. She sounded so disappointed.
No,
like,
it's
I
okay.
know.
It's like so
Did
I
you
missed.
want to do the cocaine?
Well, I mean,
Hey,
I do.
Don't
cocaine,
implicate anyone.
I do cocaine with two people.
Mhm.
One is a particular legend of
Legend.
burlesque that I love. Legend of burlesque is like a woman who's been doing it for many, many
Okay.
years.
Okay.
And I'm not going to name her.
Of course not.
Nope.
And then the other is my wifey,
Hey.
and she's still breastfeeding, so we're
Oh,
on a
yeah.
break.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with that.
Mm.
Sheila Starr Siani.
Hi.
Dun, dun,
Only-
dun.
Da, 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 da. Okay, we're gonna
So
squash
that's
this
it.
right now. Sheila Starr Siani, but that's really fucking weird for me to be
Sheila?
with
I
Sheila
know.
in front of you, and we're gonna give anyone who actually like listens, any of my fans who actually listen, a little something personal.
Here it
I'm
is.
Kiva today.
Yes.
Hey.
Okay. You know that I was dancing. I was treading it. You already knew. You know.
It's
You know what's
fine.
up.
Thank
I
you. You
wanted
let
to give
me.
you your professional
You
name.
let me make the choice.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
that's not how we know you as like originally. So
Yeah,
that's
no.
super cool. You're like, nah, let's
Let's keep it. Let's keep it one.
unveil for today.
Yeah.
Let's keep
yeah.
it G today. I'm
We're
Kiva.
gonna-
Kiva.
Hi.
Hey, welcome. Long-time listener.
I know. Maybe you should let your listeners know why you're so excited to have me here and why I'm so excited to be here.
It's been years. She's
Sort of.
It's
We keep bumping into
know,
each
we
other
do.
in weird
I
places,
know.
like
Weirdest.
Michael's and
I know.
sushi.
I know. It's weird as hell. We've seen each other like throughout the years. Like,
It's LA.
like, what are you doing here? Oh, but you stay like in Long Beach.
Long
don't you?
Beach.
Yeah. She stays like in Long Beach, so it's weird that I'm always catching her in LA somewhere. Like, oh, what the hell?
The
Yeah,
stars have aligned.
Mm.
Yeah. We've known each other for a long time. You know, we go back.
Delaney's about to be 20,
Yeah.
so 14
That's-
years.
Holy shit.
a long time.
I know. Oh,
14 years back in the Sharon days.
Yeah, are
Back
you
in
still
the
doing
Sharon.
poetry?
No, I don't have the bandwidth to write anymore.
Mm.
damn.
Just I've got 2 kids now, and I'm
You gotta
I'm
juggle them.
dancing. I'm expressing myself through
Other channels.
sensual performance art.
It's crazy.
Right.
And you have a great following. You have a huge following of people that just love you.
I guess so.
No,
How do
I
you
see
know
it.
that? Were you watching?
No, I mean,
He
I
said,
can look, but I can't
Are
touch.
you crying over there, Joe?
No. I mean, you always post these videos of like some of your kind of performances,
Yeah.
little candid ones, and you always have a huge crowd
Yeah.
every time I see
they're-
those shows. It's crazy.
It's good. It's good.
It's dope.
So
I love it.
I hear that you didn't like some of the comments I was making in regards to. I'm just gonna go straight to it.
I'm just gonna
Alright.
hop
That's
to
fine.
it.
No,
Start
that's why I love it. Get straight to the point.
So I don't know exactly what it is you said.
Do you
but-
remember?
But I don't
I
even
do.
know exactly what it is I said. But I do recall me saying I don't understand why guys, like was what I was trying to communicate. I don't understand why guys feel the need to have to go to that. I wasn't saying that it's not like something that
Oh, I thought
doesn't
this was a
contribute.
totally different thing.
Oh,
It
so then
sounds
there are
like,
multiple
sounds like you should ask
things.
the
Yeah,
guy.
there's
a question.
multiple things.
Yeah.
You guys are doing a great job at talking about shit that ain't none of your fucking business.
Well, that's the whole point.
Well, we like to keep it that way.
Mhm.
No, okay. So what I told Joe, I wasn't even sure. I thought there was a totally different thing. In general, there's a lot of stripper talk, so you
Right.
should let a
Yeah.
stripper talk.
Right.
Hey.
So you're a stripper or?
I am both.
Oh, okay.
I don't even really call myself a burlesque dancer
Mm.
Right.
that much. I'm a striptease artist.
Striptease.
I
But-
started-
okay.
yeah,
So
I
you
started-
do like topless or fully nude or something
Well,
like that?
I mostly do burlesque style with pasties and G-string and a showcase in the theaters or nightclubs and whatnot. I don't do lap dances very often anymore.
Gotcha.
They offer lap dances at burlesque?
No, they don't.
Oh,
She
okay.
started
She's
taking
trying to
notes.
say.
Like, wait a
Wait,
minute.
That's what she's trying to say that she doesn't do.
You mean good
Yeah,
music
no, I don't-
and lap dancing?
No, but I did. At 18, I started stripping at a nude club in Oceanside.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
Oceanside. Where's that at? I don't know where that.
So it's like just underneath Camp Pendleton,
Yeah,
Okay, by San Diego. Yeah.
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 Mm.
North San Diego County.
Yeah. So what made you transition
To
into
So,
like striptease?
into burlesque. So I've danced a long time. I was super shy when I was younger, so it was a lot of when I did classes and did performances, and then I got into like Polynesian dance for a minute with my stepmother, and I performed, and I really loved it, but I was a little bit shy to say it. So in my earlier years, after I had a falling out with my dad, I convinced myself that I couldn't dance, and I stopped for a long time. Then when I was 17, I moved with my mom, and I started go-go dancing, and when I was 8, my mom was also a stripper. My grandma was a Vegas showgirl and a cabaret singer and dancer.
So
And
come
my
from a
dad's a
long
singer. And so I just but I was very shy compared to everyone else in my family. So I wasn't like,
Gotcha.
out with it. So I started stripping at a little place called the Playgirl.
Okay.
And the transition happened just because there's a difference between like the strip clubs now and when I was stripping on a regular basis in the 90s, in late 90s, early 2000s. It's totally different kind of vibe.
One thing in particular being
It gets dirtier than I want it to get, especially in LA.
these days,
Yeah.
as opposed to back then.
Yeah. Like they're
Like
really
social norms have changed, is what you're, yeah.
right. You know, your bouncers used to keep you from getting touched. You wouldn't even have to say anything. And after, I don't know, 7-8 years ago, it started being more like the bouncers weren't paying attention.
Oh, they're really
Because
just,
I'm not tipping them. They're more interested in being tipped to look the other way.
Mm.
And so I switched up.
oh wow.
Wow.
And and I just can't not perform. I had always done other stuff while I was stripping and performing as well. It's doing massage therapy and whatnot. So
Oh yeah, I remember that too.
yeah.
Massage therapy?
Damn.
Yeah.
It's been ages.
Yeah, I'm a massage therapist.
You still do that? Or?
Yeah, for 18 years.
That's dope.
So what's one of the main things that you're tired of hearing people say in regards to like strippers or stripping or striptease artists, and that just really grinds your gears? It's just something that you're like, that's not true.
Well,
Is there anything in particular?
there's not anything in particular that's not true.
So it's just the
the
general
it's
view
the-
that
it's
people
the
have.
attitude
Yeah.
that people have about it. Where Philly, when you're like, I don't know why people like, okay,
He snaps
but
his
people don't
fingers,
know
too, when he
why
does it.
you want to
did-
sit at home and read a motherfucking book.
Yeah.
Sorry, I cuss a lot. Am I allowed to
Of
cuss?
course.
Yeah,
of course.
You,
Fuck
you
shit,
should
damn, fuck
remember
damn.
that. Like some people,
You're like,
which,
if you want to read a fucking book, go do
yeah,
it. Okay.
go do that. Like it's not even your commentary on like stripping. It's like, I don't know why people go to the club. I don't know why people get drunk, because people do what the hell they do and
There you
you
go,
do
Phil.
too.
No, actually, it's funny you say that. Over the weekend, I'd come to conclude that I have some unrealistic expectation that I'm throwing on most people in society, that they're supposed to be carbon copies of who I am, and it's something that I'm working through. So I get it.
How egotistical is
Oh
that?
yeah. I'm
Most people
convinced
don't listen,
everyone
though.
wants me. I'm convinced I can do whatever I want in the world, and I'm convinced anything is possible as long as I put my mind to it. So it's
mean, he's not,
I'm zipping my lips.
But that's not the point. This is a podcast.
Yeah.
You're supposed to talk.
I'm like the perfect man, except 2 feet shorter. Yeah.
I mean,
2 feet
is
shorter.
a lot.
That's a lot.
Well, because
It's
you
really
want
like a
someone
foot.
like basketball player status.
Who want? Not everybody.
necessarily.
You know
Not
how
everybody
hard
wants
it is to kiss them?
Yeah,
I wouldn't
jump
know
up.
how hard it is.
Oh.
You know, I've had
I
my
mean, you
fair
can
share of trying to
imagine.
kiss basketball players, so I guess I have somewhere to.
You can at least imagine how hard it is to try and kiss them.
Yeah,
Like
that's
when I was in high school, my boyfriend was 6'4"
In high school?
in high school.
Jesus.
Oh,
What,
I had
what
to-
team does he play on now?
He doesn't. He's in Virginia, and he's got like 5-6 kids.
Oh, shit.
But I used to
Dodge that bullet.
the planters around the trees. I stood on that so that I could. Actually,
And that wasn't even high enough.
it was. I still had to like lift up onto my toes. But that time in particular was when I decided to steal a kiss before he was my boyfriend.
Oh, as you should. See, you just got to take a hold of it. I mean, I have no issue with women proposing.
And then I would like stand up on the benches or whatever. Like I would. It was an ordeal trying to kiss him.
Wow.
You didn't have him
5
like
feet
just get on
tall.
the knee,
He wasn't
on his
courteous
knees?
enough to just get on his knee.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
it's
Then
too short.
You guys convinced me.
Oh,
I am the perfect man then,
Oh
I
my
guess.
God.
Hey. I mean, I'm vertically challenged, but I love myself and I love my height. People like try to make fun of me because I'm short,
Mm-hmm.
but I have zero qualms.
Who
with
makes fun of you that you're short? Besides me.
people in general?
Oh,
you know?
okay.
I get
That's
some of
my job.
Some of my coworkers talk shit, things like
yeah,
that.
your
Yeah.
coworker.
But I don't have an
It's
issue.
stupid.
I love my.
There is a thing
I
though,
love
right?
myself.
Most people who are like, who are tall would prefer someone similar to their height or someone who's,
At least
know?
women taller, but that's like a.
And then there's
some-
girls who like they want
body
to be able to
language
wear
stuff.
high heels and not be taller than the guy.
Yeah,
That's like a real thing,
It
right?
is a real thing but it's kind of it's kind of a natural. We want to know that we're protected,
Right, but
and,
you don't think a short guy, like a shorter guy, could be scrappy and like really
Like a
handle
Wolverine.
business?
Yes, he
Wolverine,
can.
for
I'm not
example.
saying that he can't be. I'm saying that the reason why it's looked at as like a general before you even a requirement, or if you will, before you even get to know somebody. I want someone this tall. Like, you don't know what you want
Until
Right.
until you.
you're
Sort of,
Meet 'em.
it's like appearances.
Yeah.
Someone
Yeah.
taller just looks like they could protect you easier.
Yeah, it's like unspoken signals. You
Right.
know? It's
That's
body
a-
language. It's mechanics. It's just like
carnal.
innate.
Right.
mean
Yeah.
And
Primal-
also, you know
primal?
what they say about guys who are super tall. No, not gonna go there. That's
Not
a bad-
everybody.
Sorry,
not every
bud.
girl likes
Sorry.
a big dick.
Okay, all right.
Is that-
all right.
is that
That's
what
where
you're
that's where I was
Yeah,
thinking of going.
not every girl
I was
likes.
gonna
a
say
big-
equipment.
If you lead, and this happens all the time, like dudes lead with, not obviously not like upon meeting you, but some point in after they'll lead with like, yeah, I've got a big dick, and I'm like, if you make me have to think about that big dick and how much it's not happening. Now you've sealed the deal. We're not fucking. That's like commitment. I'm gonna be sore.
I forgot to say that after I shook your hand in the chemist building. My bad. But just to let you know, I got a big dick. Yeah.
Keenan is ridiculous.
Damn. He's the only
Keenan's
one in this
awfully
room who can say
quiet right
that.
now.
You're
Yeah,
lucky
you're
that you can
intimidating
actually
me.
say that.
I'm intimidating you.
No, I'm just kidding.
He's never been around a real woman, huh?
Damn. Shout out to
It's
my
a good
exes.
thing y'all put him.
Shout out.
It's a damn good thing y'all put me on the other side of him, because I had like intentions of fucking with him a little bit, but not too far away.
Wait, physically or mentally? I'll take either.
Little bit
Either-
of both.
whatever I can get right now, I'll take it.
She also has a couple of tools that she brought forward to.
like,
Awesome.
No,
Now
but I've been
I'll
done.
bend backwards on this. This table's the right height for me
Oh
to just
my
have my feet on the floor.
You go pull your pants and just spank the shit out of you,
That's like her name on my ass. It's
She's like, no, I'm
imprinted.
not about S&M. I'm just,
I'm not a dom.
No.
I'm not a sub either, but
What's a sub?
a
submissive?
submissive.
Oh.
The opposite of a
Jesus.
dominant.
Come on, Keenan.
I know.
You should
I'm
know
like it.
this.
I need more coffee.
That's crazy. He said,
Not
Wait,
now.
you just admit that
I'm
on
not
the
in
podcast?
Vegas, and I'm not with a legend. No.
Right.
Damn. Wait, so you only do it with a legend?
There's a particular
She has a
woman.
preference.
I have.
Oh,
there-
okay.
So you
There's a
wouldn't-
particular. There are two particular people
That
that,
would
I
make
will
you do
that I do cocaine with when I do cocaine.
But it's
just
not
said
like
that.
No. I'm trying to get
Okay,
a
okay.
sense of the idea of the the usage. It's more it's not just like, oh, I really like cocaine. It's more like
it's
what do you call
social,
it?
loop,
Social thing. Yeah. You wouldn't just pull it out while you're watching Netflix or something
No.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't actually understand why people do cocaine on a regular basis. I don't understand.
So Joe,
well, if people want to read books, if people want to strip, if people want to do cocaine, that's
I don't know why exactly.
Brought it back.
Oh,
no. I'm.
Some people
I'm
I'll
totally,
give you two some space.
Philly 1, Kiva 5.
See, but I'm, and I've said this before. I'm of like the thinking that if you're able to control yourself and
functioning
and functioning, then why not?
Louis C.K. has said the same thing.
I have zero qualms.
So for me, that means like rectional use.
Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
like I got to get through the day.
Yeah,
Right.
Like I smoke weed.
I just think the same way that, like, for example, strippers get a bad rap. I think drugs get a bad rap.
They do.
Super bad. Sometimes for no reason.
It's the use.
Yeah, like marijuana forever was like looked down upon, and to this day still is. But I mean, they're legalizing it everywhere now, and people are starting to notice that it isn't as bad as people used to think. So let's get that mentality with cocaine. Let's get that mentality with. I mean, magic mushrooms are like legal
in Colorado,
in Colorado and in Oakland.
Whoa.
Oakland just passed it, where you can have magic mushrooms.
Oakland.
Is that to cover up the pain of their team leaving?
Of the Warriors
going to the new stadium.
I'm sad.
Yeah.
I don't know if mushrooms is the thing that you do to cover up that kind of that would send you on a bad trip.
It would.
Wait, what to do?
If you're down?
Yeah, if you're down and you take mushrooms, you're in a spiral. Oh my God.
I don't think I could ever take mushrooms.
I want to try it.
I don't trust myself.
I think I want to try that. Like mushrooms and acid. I want to try one of the two.
I use being busy as a way not to manage the things that I deal with internally that I just don't deal with, right? And so if I were to unlock Pandora's box, if I could unlock Pandora's box, forget about it. I guarantee you it'd be weird.
Yeah.
It'd be like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, except not fun. You know?
That wasn't fun at all, though.
That's true. No. My legal representation.
I'm telling you, I've had a bad trip.
Yeah.
And Philly's helped me out of that bad trip. So,
damn. It's funny because I want to actually experience not a bad trip, but I just want to experience a trip. Some type of trip.
It just depends.
There is no drug that Keenan has tried that has ever made him feel some kind of way.
Yeah, I know. I tried weed for the first time and I was like, but then I had to try a lot of it for me to go, ooh, my legs are getting numb and I can't close them. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
I don't like that feeling.
That you can't close your legs?
Oh, but I don't like body highs.
Okay.
So
maybe like a little bit of a body high.
You're more of a sativa person, yeah. Same with me.
But it was sativa that made me get that way. I guess it affects people differently.
It wouldn't have been sativa.
That's all I was smoking.
It could have been a sativa hybrid, and that's why it took so much for you to get that.
It was a hybrid.
No, that makes sense. But.
He's like, Joe, you're my supplier. What the fuck would you give me?
Like, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Like,
this is PCP.
I didn't know you like to get sweat.
So Keenan.
Yes.
Sativas are like the mental, I smoke a sativa, I'll smoke and clean my room and shit. I like to do stuff when every once in a while I'll get myself, I have a stash of indica for emergencies.
Yeah.
But a hybrid gives you like that warm fuzzy feeling, just a little bit. And depending on which way it leans, whether it's a sativa dominant or so since Joe likes sativa, he probably got you a sativa dominant hybrid.
Yeah, probably. Okay.
And then that's like, if you want the I can't fucking move thing, then you got to smoke a lot of it.
Yeah. Okay. I gotta do that. It costs money.
I'll use indica when I'm having trouble sleeping or something like that.
I like to smoke indica and have sex.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, that's good for the body.
I have not been high on weed really since I can recall it clearly. I was chilling in the car. I think Joe might have been there. It was way back in the day. We were in a Cadillac and they were passing around a fat blunt filled with hydro. It was the first time I had heard of hydro, right? But it was, hydro was like, Is hydro related to sativa or indica or what?
It's just a way of growing.
Yeah. It's just a way of growing your weed.
Okay, well, whatever that
it's chronic.
shit.
Damn, I didn't realize I know so much.
Yeah, that shit had me.
You know, you just don't know until you know.
Because I remember the Eminem song. The Eminem song. My band, whatever that one song that he had.
My band.
Yeah, my band. The Eminem song. Yeah, whatever. There was like a bridge to that, and I just remember being really high and going, "This is the greatest song in the world."
It'll do that to you.
It will.
I was
hoping to do that at the Wolf Mother concert, get like super high because I've seen them before. I wanted to be in the, stage arena and see like the lights and all that wild shit and trip out, but it didn't
happen.
No.
Every once in a while, I'll smoke something because I'll smoke with another performer and it'll be a little bit more indica dominant. And on stage, I'm like, phew. That's how I won the Hollywood Burlesque Festival. I was high.
Congratulations on the Hollywood Burlesque Festival.
Thanks. That was in 2013, but thanks. I'll still take it. It still stands. I'm the original Miss Hollywood Burlesque.
That's right.
I always have that title.
Do you know of a show called Bell Book and Candle?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
My friend, she does jewelry there, and she got me some tickets, and I've pretty much been going ever since last year.
It's a good one.
It's a theme. It's like they usually have a themed burlesque like every show. One I went to, which was really cool, which was an Egyptian themed.
Yeah,
that was really
nice. You
nice.
probably saw Kira Von Sutra's Anubis act, which is phenomenal.
It was great. It was really great. And the music she picked was so good that I actually had to ask her what music was that, and then I got it on my phone somewhere. But it was really cool. Yeah, very fun.
That's dope.
Yeah,
I have not done that show yet. I'm really bad at I need an agent. I'm really bad at
booking.
Anyone out there?
we got a guy right here.
Dude, no, seriously, burlesque needs an agent, and it's on that verge of where it's just mainstream enough, but it's not mainstream because we don't have agents anymore.
There's only like 3 places that I've been to besides Bell Book and Candle. Harvell's.
That can change, Keenan. That can change.
There are a lot, and we all produce our shows individually, and we book ourselves individually. And I am busy, and I have 2 children, and so it's sometimes real like.
We are friends on Instagram, so now
we are now as of today because I was about to
delete me.
No, I was about to message you to get a damn address.
Oh yeah, okay. That's my bad.
No, that's my bad because she kept.
And they're your friends for what? 14 years.
Like she kept asking me, and for whatever reason, I just
kids, dad brain.
He was whacking it.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Duane Park in NYC?
I have not been there, but I know a lot of performers that perform there.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Medianoche.
I accidentally went there. So
that's dreams.
Yeah,
but I haven't performed in New York yet.
I think you could totally pull it off though. That place is crazy.
It's dreams because I love dancing to a live band. I love being able to improv. I love just being. I'm so bored sometimes right now when I'm like. Got to do the same acts all the time. That's what I miss about stripping. I could just dance to whatever song I want because I heard it on the radio yesterday and it's been stuck in my head. And I just move to it. They don't let me do that.
You brought me to a good question. Well, not a good question. A question I was dying to ask you, or at least somebody in the industry, which I did once, and I got a response that I'm not sure, or at least I'm hoping yours is different. So I was at the other door last night. I went to a silent disco, and beside the point of what the event was, the way the girls were dancing, and I've seen this in pretty much every club I've been to, all the girls, for the most part, dance like strippers, because I go to a lot of strip clubs too. And I go to enough where I can see the routine, basically.
Oh, we know.
And then...
in case you didn't know.
But the interesting thing was that when I noticed that they're dancing in the same way, and this was bringing up on the whole boner thing that I had at one event was
I remember that.
Yeah. I asked one of my friends who's a stripper as well. I was like, hey, what do you think about these girls dancing and grinding and bending over and grabbing their ankles and just going mad crazy? One girl even like put her foot on the table and was like twerking it and stuff. It was crazy. But how do you feel about that? She was saying, I don't do that because I can get paid doing that. So why would I do that for free? And she was saying all those girls are stupid doing that because you're just giving it away.
It's what your philosophy is. Like some girls, I don't know. I also find a lot of strippers to be quite boring nowadays.
Yeah. Many a times.
Yeah. Like because I've always been a showgirl. I've always like had a costume and a act that went along with it. Even though the Playgirl had a jukebox, I knew what songs I was doing and had like something to it. Because my Grammy was like, because that's a whole other story. But girls like doing. You have to also remember that these girls nowadays are taking so many stripper based dance classes and that's what's on all the like your images and then also it's that's what's popular. It also stripping doesn't make near as much money without doing extra shit anymore ever since like because you've got strippers on every music video TV show, like everybody's twerking it and I'm like shaking and being naked and like I'm not necessarily all on board for the free the nipple movement. That puts me out of a fucking job.
Respect. I'm not sure if I'm not sure if it's something that you guys noticed, but it was very interesting. I mean, it brought me to trying to understand, I guess, the psychological of the society that we live in, of
the psychology,
the norm that like almost that's the norm. It's like you walk in and then there's bound to be someone grabbing their ankles and like doing some crazy stuff. I wouldn't be surprised,
but that's normal now, and it is all like just show and having fun. And
that's kind of what you were referring to, is how back in the 90s it was a little different. Now, not only with the touching, but social norms have changed. So now that's just regular.
So that's why like if I do a little. Even every once in a while, I pop into a strip club when I travel. And it depends. Like some places, I have no business being in there. I can't twerk without pulling my calf. So, like
oh. Well, have you been? Have you ever did the dirty dancing stuff in just a regular club? No business, no pole, no nothing.
Like going out. No, even when I got the job go dancing because I wasn't like grinding and everything when I was 17. I've never back in 1997, like when I was in, everyone was wearing like the booty shorts. I had on pants with a midriff top and I just danced and I wasn't showing everything.
Right.
There's a place for that. I don't, but you do what you want to do. If that's what you've got and that's what you want to put on display, it's all a mating ritual, really.
Okay.
And also having fun. Like nowadays you've got to balance. Girls are just having fun sometimes.
Girls just
because they kind of admire that Nicki Minaj and friggin' that's what everyone's aspiring to be now.
Right.
It's changed. Think about the difference between like Britney Spears now.
Yeah.
I mean, just showing a little bit.
Yeah. It was so much.
Look at her. She got the tube.
Or like the little teeny tiny like schoolgirl skirts with just enough, like not even booty, but just like the very top of the thigh peeking out.
Now you got the donk.
In that European gap, maybe.
Yeah. And then yoga pants too. You got the yoga.
I don't wear yoga pants.
Yeah.
Not in public.
Yeah. Whoever invented that needs like a Nobel Prize.
Every time that I have, it's a ridiculous issue.
I
can't handle it.
Get catcalled too much.
It's not. I don't mind catcalling. It's just. But it's like they actually approach, and I want to. Also, I just don't. I'm like, unless I'm going to yoga or working out,
that's what they're for.
Dress.
Right?
Yeah,
right.
I also have a thing about like dressing. I dress when I leave. I don't, and I feel like you should leave the house at least looking like you give some kind of fuck about what you look like.
Right. I've heard that a friend of mine when I was in New York, a friend of mine was telling me, he's like, I've got a lot of friends that are girls that just hang out with me. I don't know why. He's like, I don't have a girl, but whatever. And he's like, and what I'm hearing, man, is that with all the new apps, it's like guys don't actually approach girls anymore in bars.
They approach me.
They approach you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then there
Keep it old school.
I see when they don't, and I can like.
But you know they want to, but they don't do it.
No. I people watch, and I can see where men don't approach other women.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I was hearing that women thought it was a problem, that it's bothersome now because it's just everyone wants to meet on the apps.
But women are not receptive. most of the time. That's why.
Yeah, that's why guys don't.
Yeah,
right? Because
they don't, because they're not receptive. They're receptive if they are attracted to you, and it's kind of
that. Yeah, like how do you? Yeah,
I had a whole thing with a particular person that.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk
about like when back in, you remember that video about 4 years ago with the cat calling in New York?
Yes,
yes.
And I don't know. Maybe I'm old compared to some of these girls.
Yeah.
Like I grew up a particular way. But my mom, my grandmother, they're like, one day they're not. So just say thank you and walk on.
Okay.
Which is what I do. And I never have a problem. So they do catcall me. I just don't I don't have an issue with it. Sometimes though,
it's the approach.
It's the approach, and so the thing is that so when I'm wearing yoga pants or like out like anyone else, the way that they approach me is different, as opposed to like more like I said, I normally dress. I wear a dress. They approach still, but more respectfully.
Right.
I would say like if guys wanted to get a closer look at what that feels like remember back in the days when all guys wanted to wear baggy clothing because that was a style, and then you risked the chance of getting hit up by gangsters and being like, "Where are you from?" So guys started dressing preppy, and then that was in style. And so if you ever wonder what girls feel like when you approach them when they don't want to be approached and they're wearing the yoga pants,
just think of wearing the color in the wrong hood.
Just think of wearing the color in the wrong hood.
I don't know how many men can actually relate to that though.
That's true.
Probably not. And somebody told me, and maybe this might help, I just wanted to talk in this conversation. Is I was told that if you go to a gay club or a gay gym, and you're wearing like some sort of tight-fitting clothes, and this kind of happened to me up in the Bay Area.
It's a compliment.
But if you walk into a gay club and you're wearing like and you're looking good, you will definitely get approached on a frequent basis. And if you're a straight guy who doesn't, you'll get a close. You won't get nearly as close as women, but you'll get a hint.
It's happened to me, man.
Yeah, I actually. I was gonna
go on, Keenan, say it.
He touched me in a
God, show us on the doll.
And I liked it. No, it was a but I got bought drinks before. It actually felt pretty good to get someone to buy me drinks.
It always feels good.
Yeah, and you want me to do what? Okay, for how long?
I was at a lounge yesterday. I went out with our friend Pat. And we met up with a bunch of the guys that he knows, and just being in that environment, like it just made me feel like old because I see a bunch of like kids. I mean, and they're like 25, 23, coming right out of college.
The crew that you guys were hanging with?
Yeah, not necessarily the guys that we were with.
But
around us, there were just guys like, and a girl would be passing by, and the guy would grab her and be like, "Yo, what's up?" Like, and I was just like, "Man, I'm not part of this. Like, this is weird to me. It just felt weird to me. I felt so out of place because even though, like, I'm stylish and I'm,
you got your look right.
But I just compared to these kids and the way that
I have never heard that before.
Yeah, this was at 3110 in Santa Monica.
Okay.
Yeah, the 3110 lounge.
I can honestly say I have never once grabbed a girl by the arm as she was walking by and been like, "Yo, let me talk to you."
I've seen that.
That's a good fucking way to get an elbow to your freaking solar plexus.
Like, I just think just on a human level, you don't try to.
Hey, shorty. Hey. You can hey, shorty me. Don't fucking touch me.
Right.
Yeah. That's how I was like so uncomfortable. Like, man. And then like they would like turn around and be like, "Yo, like, chill." Or the friend would come and be like, "No, we got to go." Like, and it's just really weird. It was really weird.
Yeah.
It's confusing. Because I was in New York at the club Avenue, right? My friend got me and I didn't want to be there. I was like, "Oh, this is the big deal. It's Avenue," right? And I saw a guy do that to a girl in the club and she was like, "Get off me," right? And I don't know, it looked like he wasn't going to leave her alone. So I was like, "Hey, man, leave her alone," right? And then she was like, "You stay out of this."
Oh my God.
I was like, "What the fuck?"
Welcome to New York, Philly.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then they were all, then his homie, her and him were all like towards me. And I was like, okay, now
maybe they knew each other. That sounds like a situation where they probably knew each other.
Probably.
Because I don't know. Like, I mean, I know that women could sometimes be like I don't know. Like there's a way to thwart an approach that you don't really want gracefully, as well.
Yeah,
but I don't have to yell and scream and
you gotta own your space. And be like,
thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, you have a good day, sir.
Although there are some guys who don't know how to fucking take
They don't, and that's what I was talking about in the last podcast. That was my closing.
He kept going, and, and I've had that too. And but if you get warnings, if you're pushing it, then you're pushing it. But I also am like, I'm not afraid to put a boundary up. I'm not afraid to be like, hey. Even guys have approached me and they say something like really rude. My response is usually, does that ever work for you?
Right.
And they're like,
sometimes.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. And then it's like, I just thought that you like looked really nice. And I was like, well, you could have just said that.
Yeah.
Right.
And
or
then you could have told him to whip his dick out. It made him really uncomfortable. I've seen that happen before.
So really?
That video where the girl was like, all right, then let me see it. He was like, because he was catcalling her.
It depends. Now I could get like that depending on the approach and what they're doing and how nasty the situation they are. If he's in a like far enough away, I'd probably say whip it out. But if it's like the worst place, oh my god, the worst place at the gas station.
You're gas station?
Vulnerable because you've got your fucking pumping gas. Your keys are in your car. You can't just leave. And I'm like if we could put a PSA out, dudes, do not approach a woman when she's pumping her gas.
Damn.
I've even heard wearing headphones like while you're jogging or like exercise, like you have to keep one off just to make sure no one's fucking behind you sometimes. Like if
I don't know, I don't jog.
Like okay. She's out, I don't jog.
Wouldn't be able to tell you, buddy.
I roller skate and no one's gonna catch me when I got my headphones in.
Old school roller skate or rollerblades?
Old school roller skate. Okay.
Can you do the twirls and the spins and stuff like that?
I used to be able to. I feel my mortality a bit now.
Electric boogaloo and shit.
My daughter is a daredevil. Both of them are daredevils on their skates. I'm about to get some new wheels and then take a class because I do want to be able to dance on my skates again. But I'm old now, so
there's some rings still around.
Nimble.
Yeah. There's a few. I think there's 2 roller skating rings, at least here in the LA area. That I know.
Yeah, we got
Moonlight over there. I know them. Moonlight, World on Skates over down in Inglewood.
No, World on Wheels.
World on Wheels.
It's like off of La Brea.
Yeah. I know that's right.
Yeah, World on. Although
it shut down for a bit, but then they brought it back.
Same thing with the one down in San Diego. Like there's a whole
like a resurgence
of roller skating girls
every 10 years.
Yeah. My daughter started doing derby, and I was like, "Fine, I'll get some skates." And got the little one some skates, and now we're some skating motherfuckers. Can't wait.
I have a friend who does derby. She's with the Angel City.
I like to watch one of those. I haven't seen one live before.
It's good.
Yeah, I have to go to one. Yeah.
It's dope.
I won't do it because I don't want to get hurt.
Well, I'm gonna sit there. I'm not gonna go on there. I'm just gonna sit in the audience and watch.
It's good to watch. But one of my little burlesque protege she was a derby. She's retired now because she's injured herself too much. It's a shame. She's under 30. Under 30, and she's like, I'm done. But she's also a ballet dancer, and she started taking classes with me years ago. But she's a roller skater, so now her acts, a lot of them are on her roller skates.
Oh, that's dope.
That's dope.
My little baby.
Dope. That's super dope. Man, that's super dope.
When's the last time you guys skated?
Dude, it's been forever since I was on. Like I never roller skated. I used to roller blade.
Was it because of the Mighty Ducks?
Quack, quack, baby. The flying VG.
I was a skateboarder. I don't know how to feel about that.
You were a skateboarder. Yeah, but I used to ride rollerblades, but it's been
knee pads.
It's been like 20 years, man. It's been like 20 years since I got on some blades.
Did you ever wear the helmet though? Like I was never the kid that wore like the protective gear.
I had them.
When I forget my wrist guards, I'm mad at myself,
really?
And I take it real easy. I can't hurt myself though. I'm a massage therapist.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
Exactly.
True.
I think I wouldn't be able to do it now. I'm pretty sure I could just hop on some rollerblades and do it, but
it's different.
I'm just like,
well,
nah.
no. So the first time I went out, like 2 years ago now, after, because I used to like roller skate on Venice, checking flyers at people for the, all the restaurants and whatnot. But it had been like 8 years.
Shit.
And it was like riding a bike.
Really?
Well, yeah, doing it.
See, yeah, I'm pretty sure that if I hop back on some rollerblades, that'd be cool.
I tried to skateboard again. I hit a common thing that happens is you'll hit a little rock and it creates an immediate stop. And I hit the floor, and it just like when I was a kid, I got right back up. When I hit the floor, I was like, I was like Vince, like Vince Vaughn were to fall in a movie, and he's like,
you probably tumbled like really slow too, like didn't even like go down.
I just got up and I was like, nope.
Last year on my birthday, my protege, I'm gonna shout her name out. She's amazing. Her burlesque name is Anita Cristal.
Okay.
Anita Cristal.
Anita Cristal.
Anita.
So we went roller skating on my birthday, and we were down like Long Beach Boardwalk, and sand is not your fucking friend.
No.
And when you're going fast, you don't see it coming. So I'm like zooming because she's the derby girl. So I'm trying to keep up. I'd only been skating again for not even quite a year. And like I zoom and then I see it, but I can't stop yet. And you forget what you're supposed to do. And I like went shoom and landed smack, like hands behind me right on my ass. Oh my God. And then like I had my wrist guards on, thank God. But my hand was bruised from the wrist guards.
Yeah.
That's how
Right.
hard I felt. I'm so glad I had them on.
Oh my God.
I have knee pads and
that shit. Fuck that.
Yeah.
If I can avoid it now, so there's no necessity for me to do.
I've got nothing
hop
to
on
prove.
rollerblade.
I don't really go very fast though. So me and little on everything, the Mogwai, the little one, we'll cruise behind, and Delaney, she's overage, so I'll use her name, but usually it's her Mowgli. But she'll like zoom and then she'll come back for us because she just wants to go fast.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm doing it because it's the only exercise I am willing to do.
Right. You don't jog. Right.
Like I bought a bike a couple years ago, and
The
I never
one that
even
got
used
stolen?
it. Yeah.
It got stolen.
It's so
Yeah, I bought one and I never even used it. And then I came to realize, like, why didn't I even get a bike? I have a car. Like,
So you
like that. Like, there's
like
no
you are a
charity.
man of convenience.
There's no. Yeah, I really am a man of. I'm a consumer and I'm a man of convenience.
Hey, you know what though? There was a period in time where Joe and I were going regularly jogging at this school field.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he's pretty athletic, but I guess Joe was just like, what is the point of this? He's just never had something to prove. That's what it is.
I'm like,
Right.
I've never really needed to,
He's just like, hey, my guy, I'm cool.
I am who I am.
I'm approaching 40, so I'm like, I have to get some sort of regimen going. I'm holding on by like jeans.
Yoga
good
gets you
jeans.
jacked. I did not know that yoga.
I don't like yoga.
Why?
I don't usually like the teachers.
Politically, yeah.
I don't
Oh,
like
the
the
teachers?
teachers.
Are
I
they-
don't, and I'm like, like if I can find a good power yoga.
Oh yeah, I don't go to
somewhere,
classes. I learned the technique once,
Just online.
and
It's
I
YouTube.
won't have like physical
I won't do
memory
it. I
or
need to
something.
take
I can
class.
remember something like one class.
I
And
need
then I
to
just
take a
fucking do it at home.
because I won't do it if I don't have
Really?
to go.
Oh, okay.
Oh. I'm the same way though.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
It's called
if
parents.
someone
We're
isn't like-
parents.
yeah.
That's what the difference is.
If somebody isn't like dragging me to do something, I'm probably just not gonna do it. And
So
Is that
accountability,
why we don't
is
hate
Yeah.
big.
Joe?
Accountability is big.
Some bitch.
Mhm.
Shut up. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
I don't hold promises to myself very well.
yeah,
Accountability.
I keep-
that is definitely something me and Philly were talking about earlier.
We actually did something like that.
We held
from
each
last
other
week
accountable.
to now.
Mhm. And it got me to finish 2 projects that I sent a video over to Joe. And it really helped me out because, I mean, we were talking about what can get us to do the work that we want instead of, just watching Netflix and rubbing one out. It's something that needs to be done. So he was like, what's one of the things that gets you to do work? And I was like, was my promises that I keep to people, I have to try and fulfill them out. So he was like, accountability. And I was like, yeah. So we tried that out. We did a 1-week accountability thing and listed one item to be accountable for. And I wound up finishing 2 items and halfway through a third. So
yeah, and that's awesome, man.
Yeah, teamwork is a thing. We're social animals. We're not meant to be.
Well, it goes back to your whole booking thing. I mean, like if you had people around you and friends and family, it helps. It helps to have and know people, especially in Los Angeles.
I need like 6 more hours in the day, though.
Yeah, my parents used to say it all the time.
I need 6 more hours, or 10 years. But fucking 10 years, I'll be 50.
But that's the new 30. It is. I mean, if you think about it, look, people our age, like millennials, zennials, like anything, before whatever's happening now. We just function differently. We really do. We function even as parents. Even I never remember my dad being as dope as I am. I gotta say it. I never remember my dad being. I mean, my dad was a hard worker. He's a cool guy. He's a smart guy, but he's not as fly as I am. He's never. It's like just the way that even the way I am with my son. Like, the interactions that we have, the way that we are together, and I not only with myself, I see that with other parents my age as well. Like,
no, I'm a dope-ass mom.
Yeah, hell yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And I'm convinced.
Hear that, Delaney? I owned it, Delaney. You hear that? I did it.
Wait,
I didn't
she
say
listens to the podcast?
She will, because I'm on it.
Oh no.
And I'm convinced.
It doesn't matter. She's nearly 20 years old, and she's my weed guy. So.
See what I mean? Like, see what I mean?
She even has a song. It's the Weed Man. I don't know who it's by, but it was hilarious. My mom and my grandmother were over for Mother's Day, and my mom was like, "Hey, Delaney, do you have any bud?" Because I was out. And she's like, "Yeah, mama." And she goes into her room. She comes out with her fucking phone and her with the dance. And
see what I mean? Like, we just function differently.
That's true. That would never fly back.
Like, even as adults, like, even if you don't have kids, we still function differently than our parents did. Like,
that's true.
I'd like to think we do.
I think
we do, because we have different circumstances.
Yeah. I mean, with the way social media is,
and different ways of life and different things.
I mean, like our parents were immigrants into America, so I mean, they were probably flyer than their parents, who were working on farms and fucking cacique and all that. So like, we're definitely flyer. Salud.
Oh, I thought
there it is.
God damn.
Release the beast.
Why didn't you do that on the microphone? That would have been hilarious.
I was trying to be polite.
It had so much.
She comes back with like, "Oh my god,
oh my goodness,
oh my god,
heavens to Betsy."
That shit echoed off the wall.
Were you guys waiting? Did you remember that? And were you waiting for it?
It like reverberated off the walls. I was like, what the fuck? The mic still picked it up. It was like, you should have turned around.
I feel like I got to do it now just to establish dominance.
Took away our manhood with that one.
You are not the alpha anymore.
Y'all have not been in the presence of an alpha female.
And we got that on film. I love that.
Oh no, I function well around them.
Oh yeah.
I'm not talking
and
about
then I hide in the corner. I just go in the corner and go,
I know you function well with them.
All right.
So I've given it a lot of thought, and I think if I were to be classified as anything, I think it would be more the omega for me. I tend to not do well in groups in general. Like I the group has to want me to be there, because as far as I'm concerned, I just go off and do my own fucking thing. I don't care about and I think I don't care about it because I don't want to be the guy that has to constantly fight to be the fucking alpha.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, if there's anything that I don't want to prove, it's that. And that's weird.
Fight.
I
don't fight for it. And I honestly don't even I just kind of sit and I don't even, I feel like I'm an omega, but then
you were
there's
really an
too
alpha?
many,
Yeah.
So maybe there's a hybrid between alpha and omega.
There definitely. There's nothing is one-sided.
I am the beginning and I am the end.
It's a spectrum. It's a spectrum.
I was like, well, what's the name for that? Is there a name that collaborate?
Keenan's like, give me the name.
I am infinite.
Jesus.
It's called Optimus
Omnipotent.
Prime.
Omnipotent.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of omnipotent,
Really?
Joe,
or do you mean impotent?
or one of those.
Random ass shit, Keenan.
Yeah.
Random as fuck.
Keenan's on fire. He's
I
coming
want to
back.
see
He's
this
coming back.
segue.
I really want to know
Come
what's
back
about
in
to
this.
happen. I'm super interested.
Me and Joe are trying to figure out what is considered to be a clean STD.
Is that what I walked into?
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
A clean STD.
Yeah,
what do you mean?
You have in reference to like there's clean alcohol or clean type of drugs or something like that. Like maybe
I don't
there's
know what you're talking.
maybe
Okay,
there's a lightweight
no.
STD.
There's a
Okay,
lightweight
wait a
STD.
second. Hold on a second. You're comparing two things that are like you're comparing a substance to a disease.
No, the terminology that's given to the substance is being used for the terminology of the disease.
I don't follow.
As in, there's
So he's like, what's a good if you're gonna have an STD?
If you're gonna
what
have
STD
an
you wanna have?
STD to have, and it's like
if you gotta have
there's
an
one
STD,
there's one that nearly everybody has.
herpes.
Herpes, yeah.
No.
oh God. Well, there's two
I
out of
do
the
not
four.
have herpes.
Hey, cheers to
I
the
do.
herpes.
I do not have herpes.
Oh, you guys-
I do not have herpes. I do not, and that's what I like tell.
This is one of those things where there was a moment where everybody was waiting to say something, and Joe was like, "Herpes."
I'm pretty sure I don't have herpes.
Okay,
I'm pretty
wait
sure
a
I don't
second.
have herpes.
But you two said it quick, so it's like, okay, 2 out of 4.
Herpes
obviously.
is not it. So it's
I
really
thought you thought
mundane.
that's where you were going.
No, that's not it. That's not it.
She was like,
matter
no.
of fact, I remember there's an episode that I'm sitting there in my car, like, what the fuck? Why doesn't anyone know anything about their sexual bodies? Like, it's one thing to know something about like your heart and lungs and brains, but you don't have control over any of those organs.
Right.
You have control over your sex organs. You should know everything there is to know about them
Some of
before
us
you
do.
use them.
I found the gray hair.
Sometimes it just goes up.
Okay, so what's the one that a lot of people have?
Yeah,
A
if
lot
it's
of
not
people
herpes.
have some form of HPV.
Yes.
But the name of
The
it.
human
Papillomavirus, yeah.
Oh, at the other
Human
HPV.
papillomavirus. There are so many strands of it. Like the human papillomavirus is just warts.
Yeah.
So it can be warts on your hands, warts on your genitals. And then there's other ones that get really bad. And so every man needs to know this.
Right.
You cannot be tested for HPV yet. You are carrying it and you have no idea. And there's like 8 to 10 of those strands of HPV that can cause cervical cancer in women.
Yes.
No shit.
And it is really important. Like, and because you're like spreading it and going, I'm clean, because you don't know that you can't be tested.
Right. Right.
Whoa.
Right, so how do you test it if you can't? If you don't know?
When it shows up in women, it does not. The panel doesn't show up from men.
Okay, so there's something that we have.
He's
So the
asking,
only way
what
Yeah.
precaution can men
That's
take?
what I'm
is
saying.
the-
Use a
we-
condom.
One, but I mean, like,
Use a condom
if-
and talk openly. When you decide that you're not going to use a condom,
Mhm.
it should be after a really like deep, open conversation about your past sex. I ask my men, like, so did any of your women have like, in the time, and women need to be transparent as well.
yeah,
And not
yeah.
embarrassed about it or anything. So
Hey, we were just talking about that. Like,
I have a couple of strands of HPV, but they're the like benign. Nothing
Right.
happens. There's no warts. There's no nothing. I think I have I get warts on my hands every once in a while.
Right.
That's probably what it is. It shows up.
Right. Right.
But it could be related to something else, right? I mean, warts is not just only.
It's a virus, and
Yeah.
but this particular virus will like pull back and be inactive.
Mhm.
So when a woman goes in for her Pap smear, sometimes it shows up abnormal, and sometimes that's because there's HPV or some like precancerous cell stuff going on, and other times it's just because your body's going through some change. I had an abnormal Pap smear, but I was pregnant and didn't know it.
Oh, wow.
And then that came, like, they're like, and also you're pregnant. So,
You're like, oh,
but
opened
it
with that.
changes it, like,
Mhm.
changes what
Crazy.
happens. And so it's really important. And I'm
Mhm.
like,
So what if the woman doesn't tell the dude, and the dude goes on to another partner, and the other partner goes,
this
okay,
is
so
women
what about
need to be just as transparent.
as men do?
Mhm.
Okay.
There is something that I've noticed, like having those kind of conversations tends to change the mood, right? Like, and it's weird that it would, I always
don't
feel
have
like
it when you're in the mood. You have them when you're being responsible and just sitting having dinner because you know that you like each other and you're getting to the point where like maybe you are ready to rip the condom off.
Right.
So I'm thinking probably a strand of HPV is probably the cleanest one to have.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have sexually transmitted,
there's so many different types, and we were talking about gonorrhea, and then there's crabs.
Those are you don't want any of those.
I'm just saying. I'm just making a list. I'm just making a list until
checking it twice.
Yeah, no, you don't want any of those.
Yeah.
You don't want it.
That's where the conversation was leading.
That's when you guys walked in.
The conversation was leading into listing what is on that list.
How did you get to that conversation?
There's no rhyme.
Keenan, you're so sweet. And you're so I listen to you and it's so adorable and I want to like pinch your cheeks and
is it the redness? It's the redness.
But you know what it is? It's because it's hypotheticals. More often than not, there's always one guy in the group that presents hypotheticals. Like I have a cousin. He'll hit me up out of nowhere and be like, "So if you had a choice between, I don't know, it'll be like something ridiculous, getting $1 million, but you have to take it through the ass, or." And it'll always be some other alternative that isn't good.
I'm going to get rimmed.
Right?
It's $1 million right now. You know how much I owe in student loans? Damn. Yeah.
He said, I'll take a couple shots in the mouth.
Okay.
The idea of most of my hypotheticals, though, are meant to be a little bit serious in some note as the thought process. Mm-hmm. It may sound jokingly at first, but in the end, it's something to really, for the most part, take a moment. Because most people just throw out something to be receptively funny,
like shock
provocative,
or shock value. It's like, I mean, it's silly and funny, but then maybe what really is, because in the sense of what you're talking about, like there's different strands and stuff like that. Somebody, if you mention that, could take it to the extreme and say, "Oh, wait a minute, there's different."
So it's a lighthearted way of bringing up something that's a real serious conversation.
Yeah.
Which is STDs are definitely a serious conversation.
My way about things is very roundabout, and it doesn't.
When's your birthday?
It's January 15th, 1984.
Yeah, he's a Capricorn. He's a Capricorny.
Mm-hmm.
He's corny.
I'm a cornball.
Real. But he's still my best friend.
Yeah.
Love you, Kai.
So what is your take on... Wait, what?
He doesn't love you back, bro.
I'm just gonna... What? He's like, yes. What's your... Fuck you.
That's the moment where the girl's like, what?
Anyway,
I love you too, Joe.
Hey,
I was gonna say, what's your take on the Caps?
I've had some experience with Capricorns.
In a bad way or good way?
Both.
Big dicks? No, I'm just kidding. we were just talking about that earlier.
I don't think that the dick has anything to do, like at least the size, like your astrological sign.
Probably not. Yeah.
Charming. Like it makes perfect sense because every Capricorn I've known has been like really good at talking and being around and
woman.
like
I'm charming. So
I had a baby with one. And I
can have kids.
He was super charming. Like I liked watching him work a room. That shit turned me on.
Keenan, check it out.
Keenan's known to walk a room. He's known to walk a room.
Yeah.
Charm. Okay.
Yeah. No, I give it up to Keenan all the time because he
can.
Yeah,
you usually are you the pitcher or the catcher?
Sometimes I like want to. I want to like give you tips because don't listen to your boys.
I'm not even.
Oh, there it is. Hold on.
Hey, wait.
I used to do that actually. I was like a hitch for a woman.
A woman hitch.
Woman hitch.
Yeah, a woman hitch. Called it was a company called Wing Woman.
Wing Woman? I think I've heard of that before.
That one kind of flew under the radar.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, my best friends and I all worked for the company, but we didn't know that we were working for them at the same time.
That's crazy.
Wait, what was
Wing Women?
Wing Women.
Yeah.
What advice that we've given Keenan has been completely wrong?
Walk up to him and grab the arm.
No, I
nothing in particular.
There's nothing that I can remember because it's so.
But you just know that it wasn't right.
Bad advice.
2-hour episodes, man. You can't remember all that shit for 29 episodes.
You know. I haven't heard all 29 of them though.
Nah.
I heard the
really?
first ones and then I skipped ahead because I wanted the relevance.
I come on
After a
episode
certain
3.
time, I know.
Yeah.
That's what she just said.
I listened to the first like 4 or 5. And
it's
then,
changed a lot since
a
the
little
beginning.
bit, yeah, it has. The not playing video games
was a big plus, I think.
I don't know. I kind of miss it.
Really?
Don't look at
I
me.
kind of miss it. It makes it like there's something else going on. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like my best friend, she was here and I was listening to the podcast and she's listening. She gets real annoyed by shit. So she's like, I don't know what's happening. They're just rambling and I can't tell who's talking. I'm like, this shit cracks me up. What are you talking about?
I got the same response from 2 different people. It's like, nobody could make sense of where we were going.
It depends on who. So when Tweaks was on, y'all were all over the place. I couldn't get through that shit. I was having a hard time with that
Shout
one.
out to Tweety. Shout out to Tweety.
Tweaks, if you hear this, you heard it first.
Hey, what's up? Ain't seen you in a while.
She's like, that was just me calling you out, bro.
No, it was real,
that episode.
Really,
was
really bad.
People
It was
pretty
a bad
sauced up
episode.
on that episode. That's what
makes sense.
It was.
So don't drink that much.
Yeah.
We've cut down on the drinking a lot.
Drinking.
What are you drinking there? What is that?
Water.
It's cocaine in
water?
a can.
Yeah. It's delicious.
You bought that because you like the way it looks. didn't you?
Actually, no. I was at Coachella and I did the Revolve Festival at Coachella and my client was like, yo, there are cases and cases of this.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna pass some of those around?
Free water, why not?
Yeah.
Get it.
It was like whatever's there, man.
Sweet.
And it was like a room full of beverages.
Oh my
and
God.
I just saw a bunch of these tin ones. I was like, hell yeah.
Because they were pretty.
No, they're good. I mean, I've already filled it, so it's not the same water anymore, but it is pretty.
No,
it's
nice
reusable.
'cause it's reusable.
It's reusable. So
I think about that all the time, guys. I don't know when it started, but every now and then I'll throw something away in the trash and it just hits me that
it's really bad.
I start asking questions like, how much trash does one person create?
Dude, it's a lot.
A lot. There is
trash,
an answer to that question.
Yeah.
And
there is.
it just
There is actually.
And you can find out where it goes too.
I just realized, I was like, wow, we've gotten to the moon. We've done amazing things per se, and we can't even figure out how to fucking.
I don't want to buy anything new because I don't want the packaging that it comes in. Like all of the shit when you're shipping on Amazon and they send you this gigantic box with this tiny little thing, and that tiny little thing is the freaking Russian doll to get to this even tinier little thing. It's fucking ridiculous.
I keep all my boxes. Anytime I order something, I keep the boxes. I don't keep the packages.
I give them to homeless people.
No, I just keep them because I know eventually I use them.
That was mean.
They could use it. It's
I mean, you're not.
What are you having delivered by Amazon
I know,
that a homeless person can live in? You know, washer machine.
No, my sex dolls.
Don't those inflate?
No, some of them are pretty advanced.
I forgot what it is. It's like latex or something.
Hey, real question.
Oh
do you
shit!
really have them?
No. Oh my God! I just remembered something. Because you said something earlier, and I was like, noted.
I did.
Kenan, I really want to know what you're watching on Netflix and jacking off to. What's on Netflix?
Elaborate.
I have recommendations.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
What are you jacking off to on Netflix?
On Netflix, right?
Yeah.
It's usually just background while I'm watching porn on my computer. So,
okay.
What are you?
I get it. So Kenan turns on Netflix to presumably do what normal people would do, and then
he turns that up.
And then
He turns that up. He turns the volume up on Netflix so his neighbors don't get it. And he's just like,
Netflix and chill with my laptop. That's the name of this episode.
What's your laptop's name?
Netflix and chill with my laptop.
Carmen.
It's a Latino laptop.
Of course it is.
You're gonna make me spill out my drink. Oh my God.
This kid is prep.
Oh my god.
Yes. Episode 29. Let's do it.
So let's get going. We haven't talked about anything really.
We've talked about so many things. What do you mean? No. Okay. Can I give you my recommendation?
I don't think I've ever looked at an actual. There aren't. Well, okay, well, let's get your recommendation.
There's no.
Before I do anything else,
I can't even defend myself. Like it.
There is no pornography on Netflix.
There's close,
but there are really good erotic films, and I love them.
Are there?
It's like
there's
below
two.
softcore.
Oh, she said there's two.
You're talking about that?
They're
not the nymphomaniac ones, right?
Yes. Have you watched it?
Maybe. I will neither confirm or deny.
It's fucking beautiful. It's beautiful.
There's 3 of them.
That's the one that
oh my god,
Shia LaBeouf is in, right?
Shia,
a
bunch of stars are in that.
Yeah. It is. So it's foreign, so you have to read, which is fine. I love foreign. Like I don't even notice because I love to read books anyway, so I don't mind. It's like I'm
like a Zane
like
book.
I don't. Well, no, because I don't mind even when it's not erotic film.
Okay.
But but it's like I get the picture there.
That's funny
it's
how
fine.
I guessed it. How I knew what you were talking about.
Because it pops up. But another one is this is one of my favorite films ever. Is Sex and Lucia.
I think I want to say I know that one. Didn't see it.
But it's got Paz Vega.
Yeah, I passed. I think I passed over it.
That is absolutely beautiful Spanish film, so y'all should be able to.
Paz Vega.
And Hulu has
Por
some
supuesto
too.
que
Hulu's
sí.
like that.
Huh?
Yeah. I said Hulu has a few of those on there too as well. But they're like almost like documentaries, but they still show.
They're not documentaries.
No,
they're beautiful film.
The ones on Hulu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no. I don't know. I haven't gone that far into the Hulu. Sex and Lucia. Sexo y Lucia, but they have it in the English version. It is so beautiful. And I just went last year to this time last year I was on the island that they filmed it on.
Oh, okay.
Because I took a ferry from Ibiza to Formentera because this is one of my favorite films, and I just spent the day by myself. Bikes, I rented a bike. I went around
with your laptop.
I didn't even do any of that. But like nude beaches and everything. Right. It's fucking fantastic. Those are the most beautiful beaches I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot. When did you
start traveling? Like, is it difficult? Like when you first started traveling. Normally the excuse I come up with is like, I can't afford it or something like that. But there's people that are like, if you wanted to go, there's a way.
I'm a savvy ass traveler. I book myself, but I also am usually working as well. So sometimes like they're not paying me a whole shit ton of money all the time, but it's enough to offset. And then I just build a couple days on either end or both ends. And, or like, stop in London, pick up your best friend, drop off the kid, grab her, go.
Yeah. You gotta be resourceful. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do that sometimes.
But I write it off because I'm working.
Yeah.
So I write all of my travel off. It's a beautiful thing. That's
been
what
like
I spend
that
my
since
money
the beginning, like when you first started traveling, like your first place.
No. So do you want to know the first? I've always traveled because my dad is I would travel with him. So I've always had the bug and always had the like desire and my grandfather. My goal is to get to he had 127 countries. My goal is 128.
Okay.
I'm fiercely behind.
I'm definitely behind.
I haven't even started yet.
I don't own a passport.
Me and Philly are trying to do so. I got a passport. It was supposed to go to TJ to go to some sex shop over there, but I never did. And so it's just sitting there.
So you solely got your passport so you go to a sex shop to a sex shop?
Okay, so what happened?
A sex shop or a sex club? Be honest.
I don't know. Is that the same thing or different? It's supposed to be a place where you can just go and bang it out cheaply.
Okay, so you want to go to a brothel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could just go to Vegas.
I know.
And they're cleaner.
Is it expensive?
They're cleaner.
What do you want? Oh, I know what you want. He's gonna want the cheaper option.
That's why he was asking that question.
So is gonorrhea that bad?
How easy is it to cure gonorrhea?
What's the cleanest one?
Oh, that's
no.
What's the cleanest?
No, so no, the idea was it was supposed to be for
chlamydia is 10 days on antibiotics.
Chlamydia, see,
and you're done. But
wait, 10 days?
10 days on antibiotics.
No shit.
Mm-hmm.
Damn,
I still locked out.
Trust me.
Like you don't. I mean, it doesn't. So if you're looking for like things that don't harm you so much, it's chlamydia.
I think that's where the joke or leading was going to, or things like
things
like
that's not going to
chlamydia.
kill you.
Well, I mean, like the idea was, are there
or mangle your genitals?
Exactly.
and they come out like a pretzel? No, the idea was that what are things like chlamydia that can be treated and then. Well, I mean, it can come back though, right? You can get chlamydia again if you already had it, right?
If you fuck somebody if you go back and fuck the same partner that you fucked without them going and getting treated, then you're gonna get it back.
Okay, yeah, of course. Yeah.
You can get it again if you have another partner who had chlamydia. You can,
as long as you're receptive of getting it again, you can get it. Even if you never had
you
it.
can constantly get it. It's not like chicken pox.
Okay, yeah.
You can't get it once and it's done. Like,
exactly.
no.
And now, are there any STDs or HPVs out there that you can't get once, cure it, and then that's it?
No.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, they're vicious bastards.
Yeah, they just stick around and like
just
either
wrap it up, B. Just put on a condom.
Use a condom. There are so many good condoms out there. Men are not exploring the options.
Yeah.
Wait, for the pleasure for the girl or for the guy?
It's supposed to be pleasure for both.
And invest in lube.
Well,
believe it or not.
Yeah.
And some women don't even need it.
Yeah. But there's certain condoms that I wore that
lube is actually really irritating.
Really?
It had
just go down on your woman.
It was just a regular condom for the dude, but on the outside it had like some flair or something like that. It was meant to be pleasure for her. That's why I was asking. There's condoms that are
Oh my god.
Ribbed.
I have it in here.
But I have to try this on. I don't know. I can.
No, I don't want you to try it on. Okay. But I don't.
She's like, no, I need this. So no, Keenan.
It's not in this one. So there's.
There's like different types that I've seen at the store.
So one that's really, really, really good. It's a Trojan. It's a light gray box.
The thin
it's
ones?
called Bearskin. That's a really, really good, excellent condom.
Really? Okay.
If you have a latex sensitivity, skin is really excellent.
I think I'll use that once, but mostly
they're really good. And because I have a latex allergy, so I buy. It will not stop me from using a condom
in general, right?
In general,
but if you had your preference,
right.
So I usually keep my own condoms on me.
Right.
No, what about the other way around? What is it called?
The female condoms.
The female ones, yeah. Is there a particular reason? Do you buy the female ones?
They're hard. They're more expensive.
They are.
And they're
the pink thing? Pink time.
They're more expensive, and they're not like.
I heard about something recently.
It's like gotta shove it up inside of you, and it's just not like there's one.
I heard about something recently that like they invented one that's like super like guaranteed to prevent things, and that professionals have been buying them so they can up their rates on what they would charge someone who thinks they're going raw. You know what I mean? And they don't even know, which is like, I mean, good for them. Get your money, But like, there's like a new one that girls can put.
I would absolutely know if there was.
Apparently,
you
like
might not.
There's no way.
You might not.
And then like they're like, yeah, it's gonna cost you an extra $400. Like I'm going raw, whatever. Like, which I don't get. Like,
the second a dude tells me that they don't use condoms, I'm automatically uninterested.
Yeah.
I have a pristine pussy, and it stays that way.
Yeah, I remember there were some girls who like just wanted to be like, they were like, why do you want to wear it? And I immediately lose trust when they're like, no, you don't have to wear it. I'm like, I don't really know you like that. Like,
okay, so how do you guys feel about a woman who buys her own condoms or will provide it already?
I don't even bat now. I'm like,
I put a ring on that. You buy me condoms? Sweet. I'll buy you your tampons. You buy me my condoms.
I also use dental dams for oral sex with people I don't know. Well,
dental dams. That's taking it. Yeah, that's dope.
I'm an ethical slut.
Hey, here.
I can't say I'm a slut, but
I'm just a slut.
I'm a huge advocate of oral sex. I've said this before.
I've said it. We both said it.
Yeah,
we both said it. That's my ending tagline.
I don't know. Are you Philly?
Am I what?
An advocate
for oral.
Sex.
Oh yeah. No, I think you should always go after whatever feels natural to you.
How often do you go down?
Me, it's got to happen, dude. It's part of the process.
All the
It's part of the process.
I'm putting you on the spot, Philly. No.
No, I don't care. It is part of the. I think.
It's definitely part of the process. You can't have sex without oral.
Well, you can't. I mean, there were times where my girl didn't want me to go down.
Yeah, it's because there's a lot of men that do a bad job, and you just.
Well, yeah, because
she was also probably bleeding too.
Oh, that too. I mean, okay, give more information. You just threw it out there.
You can't just go to conclusions. You can ask questions.
Okay,
that's generic, because that's other circumstances.
Well, yeah, but there's also, I mean, to say you did a bad job, they don't want it. I've definitely met women who said they don't like it or want oral sex at all. They don't get a lot of pleasure from it. Not because the guy was bad.
It's usually because the guy's bad.
It's a combination. I have because I'm real like open with dudes when we like talk about whatever, and I've sometimes look at dudes, my guy friends, and like all dudes. I'm like, who are you fucking? Who is that? My girlfriends too. Like, who are you fucking? I've definitely fucked dudes that I'm like, oh, I know why you're divorced now.
Why are you looking at me? I'm not married.
No, I do think that it's a common misconception. Guys think that they're supposed to be doing it the way most guys do in a porn, like in a porn.
No, porn is terrible.
Yeah, no, there's too much space. Like there's too much space. You got to get
watch these films I just recommended.
But there's also there's different people with different interests and different styles. I mean, there's one girl saying
dragon style.
Well, no, it's just what we're talking about. Like one girl says she likes big dicks and taking it hard and stuff like that. While another girl says, big dicks isn't for her. I mean, you can't genericize everything.
Can't. You've got to have open conversations about it. But so part of that goes hand in hand with it. I also realize that these people don't talk about sex. They just have it. Why don't you know how your genitals work? They're the organs that you have control of.
I talk to my genitals sometimes. Like, hey, buddy, how's it going down there?
Her name is Lilu.
And he's like, God, man.
I wish I could have
we
some
got a drought player.
I know. Call Carmen. Oh, my God. Oh man, it's gonna be it for me. I'm done.
Don't worry, buddy.
Seriously, Keenan. So you watch Nymphomaniac.
I've seen it. Yeah.
Watch.
It's been a long time.
I recommend you watch it with your woman.
Hey.
It's very sexy, very provocative, very it's artistic. It's so beautiful. And then the other one, Sexy and Lucia, is really good. And then there's another one if you want some lesbian action. Blue is the warmest color.
Blue is the warmest color.
Also beautiful.
Sounds dope.
I want to make a porn that's beautiful.
You mean like direct it or write it or be in it?
My best friend is gonna direct it. My bestie and I will, and whoever my partner in it is, will write it together, and then she will direct it, and we'll star in it. That's what I want to do.
There you go.
Yeah. That's dope. Keenan's like, is this gonna be like a screening for this?
Yeah.
You need a stunt cock.
There's a
stunt cock.
Do you need a stunt cock?
There's a amateur porn festival called Hump Fest, and it's some really it's weird, crazy, bizarre stuff, and some's hilarious. It's so good. It is so kind of far from actually. Some of it's far from being sexy because it's like short films.
Yeah.
Far from being sexy, but it's hilarious and involves sex. And then others that are just like wacky visual with some weird music, and then others that are just like really sexy, and then some and challenging. It's really, really fun. I like it.
Yeah, there's just some porn that's just
savage.
Horrible.
Have you?
I watch like artistic smut. That's what I consume.
Yeah.
Artistic smut.
Yeah, I think you're talking about porn.
You're talking about like hardcore porn.
Yeah.
I like hentai.
Not all of it is good though.
Tentacle porn is my jam. Oh my God.
Damn.
Tentacle porn.
You got to get into some No, but some of it is
All right,
trash.
let's talk about
some of it is some of it is poorly animated.
Yeah,
It's just trash. Made in some fucking.
Why are you
Yeah,
pointing
no,
at
of
me?
course.
Like,
I'm not pointing at you.
He's just pointing in a direction. Why are you getting defensive?
Did we do that on the
Keenan?
podcast? The time that you bought what you thought was an ad?
Yeah,
comic?
I heard that one. I did hear that one. I was cracking the hell up.
Shit.
I was cracking up so bad.
I'm telling you, it's worked out.
It's good.
Awesome.
It's some of it. I mean, it could be really good. I don't like regular porn. I have started to.
What is
dabble
regular
in
porn?
Like, okay, so directed, professional, done in the porn industry. Porn.
Okay,
It's porn
that's what we're
to
gonna
me.
classify. Okay.
Then
trash.
I don't.
It's trash.
It is. Man.
There's I've had reason in the last few years to consume more. I didn't used to watch porn at all. I don't really watch porn and like get off. I watch it and
Analyze it.
Like, you know, that angle in that camera, that the cinematographer in this one is just
Doing
really,
research
really
for
horrible.
my film.
Splashes on the lens. God damn it.
The lighting in this room could have been totally better.
but
Yeah.
and even that is super rare. But like I do like
The
like
tentacle.
real amateur like people on like X Hamster.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Is that
X
what
Hamster,
it's
that was
called?
one
Is
of
that
the
X
lists.
Hamster?
Yeah.
Is that
Or
it?
X videos. Which one?
Remind me. It's definitely Hamster. Is it
Yeah,
X Hamster?
Hamster.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
the one me and my ex-boyfriend
Mhm.
were on. It's probably still up.
Okay. No,
Wait,
no,
you
I
were
get
on
what
it,
you-
or you
We
like,
we made
there's a
we
video?
made, we made
not
we made
necessarily
some porn.
webcam shit, right?
Did we make- Huh?
It's like an
Not
amateur, like,
necessarily
oh, we
web-
put
It was
out,
it
yeah.
literally like my.
See, the interesting about that is I spoke
Hold
to
on a
someone.
second, I need a moment. I just had a
Oh, was it a bad flashback? Or?
No.
Oh, I doubt it.
Oh.
This is take some time.
Do you want some water, or maybe no, maybe you need a towel?
I know.
Yeah,
Start
get some
standing.
AC. Just turn the AC back on.
It was really that one's really good.
I was told by
Like,
somebody like who apparently works in the industry that all those amateur stuff is actually real porn stars, but obviously this is not true, right?
No,
Like,
it's not.
yeah.
No, it's not. A
Okay.
lot of it is just people who like
Who are
getting
doing it.
freaky with
Mhm.
their couple, and I like that because it's really genuine.
And it's real.
It's
Yeah.
super sexy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Even some of it. There was this one guy that his thing. It was disgusting. This is disgusting. It's piggish.
There's a pig involved.
No, I'm just gonna
Oh.
say it's piggish. It's everything that shouldn't be on a like feminist. I am not a feminist. It was hot. He was a fucking landlord who like was taking head and sex for rent,
That's a series.
and he was like videoing it and putting it up.
Oh, but it was a real. It wasn't. It wasn't the one
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
produced and
No,
made.
yeah.
It's a real. Oh,
It's not
okay.
like
Yeah.
property sex or
No,
whatever.
not that one. But there is one
No.
that's amateur video of a landlord. I mean,
It's on.
there's so
He's
much.
on X Hamster.
Well, I can neither confirm or deny that I may have seen or know what you're talking about.
And I just turned to Keenan because I know his vast collection that exists.
Both
Yeah.
Joe,
Oh,
actually
yeah, we've
Joe and
seen
Philly
it.
knows. They saw
He
it.
has it categorized and everything. Like
It's
he's
like
like,
that-
hey, you can put it on this hard drive.
Also,
Don't-
I will tell you that I haven't looked at X Hamster since me and my ex broke up. So
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
It happens. You know?
It does
So
happen.
these candy bars. It's
Yeah, so we got this tamarind candy bar.
yeah.
Keenan's never tried it.
No, I haven't.
Kiva has.
It's a condom with chocolate inside.
it's not chocolate.
What is that?
No, it's not. It's
It's not
tamarind.
chocolate. It's tamarind, which is like a nut. Is it a
Yeah,
nut?
it's like a nut.
But
Brown
it's
nut.
like a tangy.
Are we describing my nuts or describing this candy?
No, yours is nasty.
Nat, you tasted my nuts,
No.
Joe?
I've heard.
You've heard.
I've heard stories. Enjoy.
So this candy looks. I'm gonna describe it since I never had it before. The wrapper is yellow.
You are horrible at this.
That was shit, dude. I can't. Dude, is this one edible? It looks like
Yeah.
there's mold on it.
No,
That's not
that's,
like
that's,
that.
that's sugar.
Yeah.
That's sugar.
That's sugar. Dude.
Mhm.
Am I doing this right?
Yeah, you're,
Just eat it. Oh my God, take a fucking bite. If
Take
you
a
lick
fucking
pussy
bite,
like
dick.
that, that's a problem.
I mostly suck. Oh, we should actually talk about that. So, wait, what?
It depends on what kind of clit she has.
Sometimes a little fatty. It's delicious.
Well, I got my answer. So
it depends on what kind of clit you have. No, not just size, but what kind. Like some girls are like, you have to like find
chunky?
it. What do you mean chunky?
No, you said different types
of clit, not
size and shape.
Like if it's like long and sticks out, sometimes it's like you have to coax it out. And it's like folded in. Mine is not like that, but they're like folded in. It's like a nice little, neat, little cute pussy. Mine is not like that.
Sometimes it isn't, you know?
Yeah.
It's like
and like you have to like find it, you know, and like, and it'll get like a hard little knot. And some are like kind of like because the nerves of the clit are long, and sometimes it's inside, and some like a belly button. You've got like an innie or an outie.
So it just depends.
I have a theory that women that have like outies might have a little tiny bit more testosterone. I've learned that most of those women have higher sex drives as well.
Yeah.
I
from my own
I have
like
to agree with
unofficial,
you
unofficial scientific research.
From experience, you know,
well,
all the clits I've
that too.
All it is a repeated experiment that continues to provide the same results.
Exactly.
The scientific method.
Yeah, it is.
What do you think, Keenan?
Well, it's yellow. Because we are all yellow.
I love the texture of these. Like I like to put it and like rub it up against the roof of my mouth with my tongue. Nibble it.
Yeah, that's working. It's on the.
I love when it gets gooey and just like it's
maybe I have a different experience than you guys. I'm not having any of that.
Hold on.
Sort of sensation.
Wait a second. Wait.
No,
where do you chew it at? Do you chew it in the front of your mouth or the back of your mouth?
On the side.
Chew it in the front. Try chewing with the front part and letting your front of your tongue.
You're taking tiny little baby hamster bites, man.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's not about the size, Joe.
He's cautious. It's okay, but it's actually more about where those particular taste buds lie in your mouth.
No.
Are you a little bit better?
They lie in the back of his throat.
That's where all the flavor kicks in.
Cheers. We were having.
Oh my God, we killed Keenan.
It almost resemble like the sweet plantains that we had over there.
It tastes like a fruit roll-up.
It has a kind of quality. That's kind of what it.
The texture wise, yeah. It's a lot like that.
I mean, it tastes like it really tastes like a fruit roll-up. Like not just texture, but the actual
thing.
Yeah, it's got that tang, that tangy,
tangy sweet.
I haven't had a fruit roll-up in ages, so
I have. I love them.
Really?
Also, sticking them on the roof of my mouth and rubbing it.
I remember doing that as a kid. I really haven't had a fruit roll-up since I was a kid, I don't think.
Old school fruit roll-up or the roll ones on the strip?
The old school ones.
We roll them up like a cigar and pretend to smoke them.
Like a pancake?
Yeah.
And you just peel it.
See, I grew up on like the complete opposite of that. They always had like the Hostess cupcakes and the ones that look like the hockey pucks. Ho-Ohs, I think.
No, ding dongs.
Ding dong. Yeah, yep.
I
put
grew
ding
up on
dongs
those
in my
too.
mouth. Why not?
I love ding dongs.
Center. Yeah.
I don't like Twinkies anymore. They changed
I never fucked with the Twinkies.
Oh, did they?
I used to like Twinkies, but now there's something in the texture of the. Well, maybe after when whoever bought it, they changed the recipe.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's the sponge cake. The texture is off.
Who was it? It was who bought it?
I don't know.
It was
Bimbo?
Hostess, and then I can't remember who it was, but I have that same issue with Honey Smacks right now, the cereal.
Oh,
they changed the recipe because of the salmonella or some.
There was
bullshit.
what? Because that was my jam.
Yeah, but worry not. Post still has the golden crisps.
Okay.
Which is, so
nice.
Comparable. That's good to know. I love me some Honey Smacks.
Honey Smacks were my jam.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
And then when they changed the recipe, I was just like, fuck you. I actually tweeted about it. I tweeted out to Kellogg's and I was like, yo, why did you guys change the recipe? Bring the recipe back.
They respond back to you?
And then I also tagged Post and I was like, yo, Post, Loving the golden, Chris.
Hey, that's a real thing. I mean, it's like
do your part.
Yeah, everybody needs to
that.
address that because their PR needs to be able to see that. Ooh,
well, that's the purpose of
it's
having
not
that.
The same
right?
anymore. It tastes like cardboard.
Mm.
Honey Smacks tastes like cardboard.
And maybe
See, and that's what they do with their boxes. They put it in their cereal.
Oh, yeah.
Damn. Keenan's probably not even playing. He's like, no, seriously.
They probably, you have no idea what they put in.
That's that's how I feel about like organic vegetables and shit like that. Like at some point, it still has to get loaded into a truck, and you don't know what's in those trucks. As it's be like, like it's nothing is that clean unless you grew that shit yourself.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's just
most
how it is.
organic. I buy organic like leafy greens and fruit that you eat the skin on, and then everything else you can just wash it.
Right, right.
But how would you also even know if they put chemicals in it? Like you're not taking the fruit at home and putting it in a lab and testing it out. You're just told
it's supposed to be integrity, and the FDA is supposed to keep track of that. And we hope that they're supposed to do that shit. We hope they don't do a great job of everything. The difference here with our FDA and like somewhere else in the world is that everywhere else in the world they have to prove that it doesn't harm humans.
Right.
Here they're like when it does, then we'll take it off the market. Prove that it harmed is stupid.
Yeah. That's fucked up. It's true.
It's really bad. But ideally organic means that it's been like in order to get that stamp, you have to prove to whoever is checking it that you don't have pesticides. And really it's just no pesticides. But like GMOs are still prevalent. You don't know what.
I mean, that's why I can't watch these documentaries because they're just going to make me want to starve myself because every
time I come back from someplace, I'm like, I don't want to eat this shit. This is disgusting. Cheese here is not like cheese anywhere else.
Not at all.
Really?
Not at all.
It's like, it's waxy.
It's all processed.
It's terrible. Unless you get, like, I splurge on good cheese.
See, I could never do the stinky cheese thing. It was never my jam.
Wait, so the stinkier the better?
Blair.
The stinkier the better the cheese. Really?
For me, everyone's got their taste, but I like stinky cheese.
I fuck with Havarti cheese though. It's like a nice Havarti because it melts.
Yeah.
Oh, Havarti cheese.
There's cheese and crackers. When my kids aren't around, I don't have to worry about feeding them. I'm like cheese and crackers and like fruit and hummus and shit, and I just
give me a good hummus, man.
I
make a mean hummus
with a fresh baked fucking like naan or something, some kind of like nice toasty bread. Dip that shit in some spicy hummus. I really feel like that stereotype really suits me, man. Like I can't for the life of me not make my shit spicy. I'll grab a pizza and I'll make sure it has jalapenos or like it's fucked up. It's I'm like genetically inclined to just have that shit.
I'm the
burned all your taste buds off already, so you have to have it.
Like I have to have. No, I taste it without it. I can still taste it, but for me, I could just. I don't know. I think I'm a sensation addict. Like I need to have a visceral experience with whatever I'm doing. That's why I drink like yerba mate or it's like something that kicks me and makes like alters my reality. So I'm really no different than somebody else that's chasing a drug.
Goddamn right. Goddamn right.
Experience junkie.
Yeah.
It's me.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're an experienced junkie? Keenan's an experienced junkie.
Give me something.
He's always looking for the thrill.
Yeah.
No, I don't have FOMO. I just, because I'm going to do the thing that I want to do. And I'm not necessarily always trying to do the thing that everyone else is. I end up solo a lot.
I know the feeling.
My best friend lives in fucking London. She left me.
Right. That sucks. Yeah.
She left all of us.
Yo, back in the day, man, that was crazy. I think about like,
I was a terrible mother then.
Shit.
No, you bounced back.
I was terrible. I was bad.
It's all relative. Do you I didn't grow up with my parents at all. So
do you remember? So I had this wolf dog, and like Sharon was Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
But it was only like 2 miles from my house.
We lived in the same neighborhood?
Yeah, Keenan lived like right over the block.
Yeah, it was on 67th and Western.
I lived, maybe it's a little bit more. I lived on Fairfax and Airdrome for a year.
Okay.
Some good times.
That was a sick ass house.
Yeah, it was. And so then like Delaney would go to sleep. But Delaney slept hard. Like once she was out, she was out. I knew like she's 6 years old at the time. and we'd go to the share, and I'd just leave her at home with the dog.
Damn.
No one, but Prophet was no fucking joke. He was a dope ass fucking protective wolf dog. No one was gonna do anything.
Name Prophet?
His name is Prophet.
Oh, okay. That's a good name for a
It's
dog.
a sick ass name for a dog.
Yeah, I'll name for a dog.
Yeah.
That's back in her poetry days. I shall dub thee prophet.
He was named after somebody I know, actually.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
That's still a sick ass name for a dog.
I mean, I just think like I don't mean to make this about me, but I just think it's a fascinating case study that I was raised by wolves, basically. You know what I mean? If you really think about it, because
Joe.
Yeah, you're just like
Danny, Tweaks, Cheats, like all the crew. Like they were the people that I was kicking it with, and then at some point I was like, I knew no different. I'd go to school with all the other kids, and they're like, oh, dude, let's go to the cut and smoke a little J, and I'm like, why are we hiding that?
Exactly. Why is this hiding?
Why are we hiding
Doing
this?
shows and shit, and like I had no idea. To me, that was just normal.
Yeah.
You know,
what was your perception of Joe and Philly when you first met them?
Oh my god!
Back in the day, so long ago, man.
Wait,
I'm not even the same fucking person.
I hope not.
Damn. Woo! Went straight to the jugular in that one.
No, not. I don't mean that in that way.
Just fucking with him.
No, how I met Joe on fucking C Pixel because that's where like my
the original.
Yeah, bear in mind that I'm 26 at the time and I have a 6-year-old, and my best friend is not even quite 18 at this point. And then she turned 18, and then she turned 20, like sometime in the I mean, eventually she got older,
right? Right, time passed.
But anyway, so I'm like running. I've got this there, and they're younger than I am. Still, I have friends that are older and friends that are younger, but not a whole lot of friends my own age.
I was like 22.
Story of my fucking
life. Yeah. So younger. I'm the only one with the child. They were cool. C Pixel was like for anyone listening,
the person below.
Oh my god!
Hey, what up?
It was like a chat. It was a chat room.
It was basically
site.
a chat room.
Yeah, it was a chat room site. So like before Facebook,
just to rate people.
When there was there was MySpace.
Rate, right?
Yeah, there was MySpace. And there was Tribe Quest, and there was C Pixel, and like MySpace was the popular one. Right. Tribe Quest was for like the like hoity-toity. I was on it too. The more like like Philly would have been on Tribe Quest over any of the other ones. You know, you would have been in the computer lab. You would have been on MySpace, and you were on C Pixel. Yeah, and Phil, because he's a grumpy old man like me, and he just like talks shit about people. It's great.
I did try Friendster too. I was in Friendster for like a month or so.
It just disappeared.
C Pixel was like the Wild West.
Yeah, C Pixel was crazy. Oh my god, there were some things like there was like the. Remember, we're like, don't click the links. Yeah. Don't click the links because if like someone put a link up, then it was going to be some disgusting Japanese barf porn. Oh my god, I can't unsee some of those.
I used to be mad that nobody would ever talk to me on the person below. I'd like follow the rules, and people were like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah,
yeah. I could never get responses back. It was the worst.
It would happen to me too because I was young. Yeah. Like, no, we can't fuck with you.
Yeah. But I saw there was like clicks. I was like, "Fuck you guys."
There were definitely clicks. It was weird because like there are people that we knew all over the place, just the same as now. Only now it's normal, and back then it was something we just did.
I'm still in communication with some of the people from C Pixel.
Really?
No shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know. Yeah, well, you're one of them. No, but there really are like.
There was Black Planet too. Was another one.
I probably like 5 or 6 people that I still talk to.
There was a dude who copied Joe's profile photo on Black Planet and his username that he decided was Real Nigga 22 or something like that, right?
What?
And he was like hitting up Joe, and he was like, "Hey, dude, you copied my pro." Joe's like, "What the fuck?" Like,
I'm like, "Yo,
I'm pretty sure I was me the last time I checked."
It was straight up. I think it's the highest form of flattery. I'd never had somebody create a fake profile of me. But
awesome,
there was
Joe.
Somebody out there creating a fake profile of Joe, and like I remember he showed me on the computer. He was like, "Dude, I don't even know what to do about this.
Like,
what
I can't do anything." Like,
right? No,
I was like, "Hey, stop taking my image."
I'd be up late with them because basically, like Kristen lived in Orange County.
Right.
I lived in LA, but I was stuck with the kid, most of the time. And so we'd just be up all chatting with whoever else in the world and each other.
Like late night, be the last ones on. Just
Techno for Us was another one.
Yeah. It was
Damn.
It was
The
kind
early
of, it was
days.
That was the
kind
beginning of
fun.
the change for everything.
Yeah, that was the
For
social
everything.
media.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the foundation. All
Trolling
these
started
little
on
things.
CPixel.
Yeah,
okay.
it did. Yeah, it did.
Definitely. It
Yeah.
used to be getting
CPixel was the
nasty.
kind of place where people would talk
Troll,
like
yeah.
trash.
They used the original Reddit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I never jumped on the Reddit train.
I'm not on Reddit. I'm too old for
I'm not
Reddit.
on Reddit.
I could
either.
never do it.
Too old for
But
it.
it was the original Reddit for sure. Like
Okay.
before Reddit was Reddit.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
CPixel.
there were groups that talked about certain subjects. I remember you remember when I thought that I was being tapped
By the government?
by the government? Because it was during the Bush times when he was like listening in and we knew. And
Yeah.
there were times that my computer would just shut the fuck off. But I would say shit like someone needs to kill the fucking president. And then my
Oh.
computer would just shut down like minutes later.
Yeah.
What the hell?
crazy.
No,
And
that's
then,
true.
like,
And then we have fucking Snowden coming out of the woods saying, of course, the government
Yeah.
taps on everything.
yeah.
It's trippy.
Yeah. It was crazy.
I totally forgot Snow didn't even happen. Like we're just all
And he's still stuck in Russia, I think.
No.
Like, really? They
No,
let him
he-
back in?
No, the U.S. picked him up.
They extradited him.
Yeah, they
told
extradited him like
When did that happen?
3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was over.
What?
Wasn't it over like a young woman?
It was
Sex scandal
yeah, it
or
was like
something?
his misconduct, but also because the embassy did what was it? It was I can't remember what embassy it was, but it was somewhere in like Central or
somebody
Yeah.
sold him out.
Mhm.
No, but they were tired of him because he was basically living in the embassy. He couldn't
For
go
free.
anywhere else.
Yeah.
And they were just saying that he just left shit all over the place. He would leave shit. That he brought a cat, and
Oh,
the cat
man.
would just take a shit everywhere, and he would never.
Well, that's
pick
his
up
own
after
damn
it.
fault
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they were just kind of tired of him. So
They're like, take him.
and
If
his
you're a
behavior.
guest,
And there was
yeah,
a-
yeah,
And then some sex allegation came
Exactly.
up, so they're like, "Oh, that's good enough."
yeah. That's all we need.
Damn.
That's
Yeah.
also the easiest kind of thing to plant on somebody too, if you're trying to fuck with them, like to create some kind of situation like that.
Yeah.
But
It's
still,
crazy.
that's crazy. Yeah.
And I don't know. It's nuts. It's nuts. But he's gone.
He's gone.
Have you
Damn.
guys seen the Wanda Sykes stand up on?
I
Oh,
want
it's
to.
so
I got
fucking
you.
funny.
It was
Yeah.
hilarious.
Oh
Yeah.
my god,
It was
dying
hilarious. Yeah.
I have
laughing.
it.
And-
So good.
And she's like, I don't know how America has forgotten the history, but of what we did when we gave Boris or Joris, I think was his name, Joris
Mhm.
Beltsin or something like that, to Russia. They're like, they just did that shit back to us with Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you missed a chance to meet her too.
No. I was there. Remember?
You were
So,
there.
Yeah.
Okay, so Philly did meet Wanda Sykes.
we were at the theater, and that's why I watched it. I said, you know what?
Ah.
I've never actually seen any of her stuff.
I've
I
seen
was
her
like,
old
let me
stuff.
check
That
this
was
out.
hilarious.
She's
Yeah,
super funny.
She's still, and apparently she's a very successful writer, mostly.
Yeah.
That's-
Yes.
Her comedy's like super insightful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like it's not just like bland, like
Yeah.
dumb shit. But
There's
yeah.
not all sorts of dirty stuff. It's just enough dirty.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's the right kind of
It's
dirty.
kind of
It's
dirty.
really
It's your
good.
kind
Yeah.
of dirty.
No, my kind of dirty is way
Oh, no,
dirty.
yeah, you're
It goes
super
beyond
dirty.
entire.
Boy,
Woo!
I mean, there's some crazy stuff out there.
There
if
is
you're
there is a
really
limit
interested.
for me though. I will not watch certain things on certain channels for sure.
I mean, there's
Big
even a
turn on.
whole community of people if that's like the thing that you're into and you're having a hard time finding it and lead you in that direction.
You mean like what? No, wait. No, I know what I like want.
looked
I
at
know
us
what
like,
I,
"What's going on?"
Wait, I just know that there's a point where I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna watch this stuff. I specifically avoid it because they will link you to other things associated with it. Even if you put something that's just
Elaborate, please. Like,
like, well, I mean, like, if
let
you,
us know what it is that you're avoiding. Like,
well, I don't want to say in. Well, I guess I can say in super
Hey, you don't
detail.
have to. Also,
yeah.
don't
I'd
feel
love to
social
hear
pressure.
this.
No, but
I mean, what is enough for you to be like, oh no, that's too far for me?
really.
Yeah, like what is it that's like?
The violent stuff where they're like stabbing and like
Oh.
doing some like
That's a porno.
yeah there's some
a lot. There's some
nasty
Oh wait, like stabbing with like a
a knife.
plunger?
Yes.
Oh, a knife?
Yeah,
I was paid $1,000 to piss on somebody. It's great.
No shit.
you got paid $1,000. Damn.
Damn.
I wonder if I can do that.
Only
No, they
R.
won't pay
Kelly,
you.
bro. And then even then, there's repercussions.
No, yeah, there's the violent ones. You'll type in something that says tied up or just something like lightweight BDSM type stuff, and then you click on a video, but then there's another video below that says the recommended stuff, and it's way more crazy. So that
like putting softballs in the booty.
Yeah, or
like,
somewhere or the
Remember Two Girls in One Cup?
Things like that. Those are the obvious no's. But
everyone had to see that. It was like, it was viral.
No.
I can't watch.
I would
something
not.
Like that.
I didn't. I know what it is, and I'm not watching it.
I watched like a couple sites, and I was like, "This shit is crazy, dude." Like,
I don't under.
Although I'm told that it was actually like soft ice cream.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That shit is nasty.
Well, yeah, that and old dudes banging young girls. I can't do that. I can't watch that. It really bothers me.
Like, why is he getting it? Why can't I get it?
They're like 80 years old and they're really going at it.
That's her favorite. That's like your reference.
Old, overweight, big old belly, and just like.
I don't know why it's sexy.
Oh my god! See, that's why
it's not okay. It's not sexy.
With
it's
the
not,
super heavy sunburns.
It's not sexy. Like it's not the kind of sex that I actually want.
Right.
But there's a particular side of me that kind of shit will stir up. That I don't know. But I don't like actually.
But it's weird because I watch the old ladies banging some young dude, but I just can't take the old dudes banging the young girls. It's a big. I mean, if I have
that's because they find like the nastiest of them, right? Like big, dirty Ron Jeremy type dudes, or is they just like fucking sexy ass silver foxes?
No, no. They have to. It's the ones where they look like
overweight and hairy, and just like they find some of the
something
like
where I would go, how this is not fair.
That's what it is,
and that's why I can't watch it.
That's what it is. Your ego. It's your ego getting in the way.
It is.
But he's fucking this bitch.
But it makes me wonder, like, if he can do it, I can do it too, right?
Except for that it's porn.
It's a hired job.
Well, see, that's the thing.
That does not mean that it doesn't
the amateur
happen.
Stuff too. There's a lot of, I don't know.
Yeah, but
if it's fake or not.
There's usually some sort of there's.
But that's what I'm saying. Like when you presented your statement, I was like, oh, so the guy was wrong. Not every single amateur video is actually porn. People are professionally made. So when there's these old guys doing young girls in an amateur video, or somebody sets it up and all that stuff, it's just like, oh,
there's like a whole like underground world that is into like there are girls that are just like they're into daddies and shit like that. So they're also tend to be pretty freaky and don't mind being filmed. So some of that is really actually quite real.
I can't wait to be a daddy.
Huh?
What?
I said I can't wait to be a daddy.
So there technically really is no real shame if I was dating somebody like super younger than me, right?
Depends on what.
I mean, it's got to be legal. Yeah.
Well, of course, Philly.
How old are you, Keenan?
I'm 35.
You do not need to date anyone.
I told you my birthday.
You told me your birthday, but you didn't tell me your
year.
I don't remember the year.
Okay.
It's too many numbers. I'm a Cancer. I don't do numbers well. I'm just a fucking stripper.
Yeah. Counting that money.
So you were saying?
I don't know.
I have a question. How many people?
You just asked him how old he was.
Oh yeah. You don't need to date anyone who's under 25. Why would you do that?
Yeah, I'd probably say.
No, I'm just saying, like, if that position presents itself, I don't have to, because you're saying this underground world.
Yeah, fuck with her, sure.
Yeah.
Like a relationship.
Like really, like carry on a relationship. It's fine.
Well, nothing I ever talk about is really about carrying on a relationship. You're
just trying to fuck. I'm always sitting here like trying to think about what is it? What is your goal? You just want to get laid, or you just want to, or do you want to like create something? Because
both.
You probably so. Here's the deal. You look like a guy.
Finally,
who wants
some validation?
You look like the kind like just and people always judge.
It's true.
Of course, yeah. We talk about it all the time.
And you look like, come off as the type of guy who's probably like wanting to have a girlfriend, something actually serious. And so women are gonna play a little bit like this. If she really is like interested in you, we're gonna hold off the sexual gratification. If she's smart, she will hold off the sexual gratification. but like create just enough tension.
Mm.
And, you know, so you sometimes I hear like your things and I'm like, okay, you can really like, don't be thirsty, but keep engaging. So the girl at the bar who works at the bar, she works at the bar.
The recent one?
Yeah. She works at the bar. Mm-hmm. If she's like, oh, you can catch me here, it's because she works there. She needs your money.
Yeah.
She needs your, like, she gets better shifts if she gets people who come in on her shift. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's like some douchebag guy, you're not going to want them to come back.
Right.
So she might be mildly interested. I wouldn't go for anything yet. I would just go back and talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just go back, you know, enough.
Mm-hmm.
Just chatter up here and there and see if you can make something spark. But yeah.
No,
you look like you're I was saying like you look like a dude who's like maybe wanting some sort of, and you've got a job, and so girls are, if you're not,
doesn't that go against me if my mentality at some point in time, maybe it fluctuates or whatever, but if I give off the impression that I want a girlfriend when in reality I just want to have somebody to bang with?
No, don't give the impression.
No, but wait, but I think you're saying that.
But you're saying my.
That's just how you come.
So like, you come across.
That's what I'm saying.
You come off as a catch, and if you're a catch, we're gonna hold off sexual gratification to keep you interested.
Now, what if I don't want that, but I'm still coming off as a catch?
He says, "How do I come off as someone that girls just want to fuck?" That's what he's saying.
Pretty much, yeah.
You don't, because that's not. I mean, you could be a douchebag. You could change, how you approach people.
Yeah.
I know you don't. So why you can have you can find something that meshes.
Well, let's talk about this underground sex group that likes older men. How about that? Tell me where that's
It's
at.
not an underground sex group.
He's like, I don't like where this is going.
He's like, you're not really telling me anything that I didn't know.
There is something for everyone in this
which is
true. Corners of sex world
all the time.
So
he's like, so where is this? Well, after the podcast,
it depends on what
is it going to cost me?
Oh yeah,
depends on what you want.
We did talk about Vegas, but I guess that is something that I also spoke to Philly and the guys, Philly and Joe, about is what is it that I really do want? And that question definitely comes up to me quite often, and my answer is never the same every time that's asked about me, but it still fits within a generic.
Because you're human, man.
Two-way thing. I would like to have a girlfriend or have a wife or something. I do feel I'm getting older and all that stuff. I'm like the ticking time or whatever, but that doesn't mean that that's all I want.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Because I mean, for me, having a boyfriend or partner includes sex.
Of course.
Yeah.
And Keenan just wants to make sure that whoever he ends up with is going to be freaky.
Or has that same mentality as you.
Yeah, and those are rare gems because, not everyone is quite so comfortable
with their sexuality.
Right. Yeah. Which is what I propose when people do give me advice. It's like, hey, whatever you're telling me is not going to work every single time.
Right. No, nothing is going to work every single time. You just be yourself because yourself is good. But if you're looking, so what is it that you want? Do you want like a friend with benefits, or do you want someone that you can just call and maybe hand some cash to, and she takes care of you, and you have like a rapport?
How much cash are we talking about?
I think
they're like, because they're and I don't have any problem with women who do like have sex. Obviously, I was like, for me, it's like, oh, that sounded. It was someone asked me like, hand me $1,000.
That's right, for
on them. Like, but I was like, that could be interesting. You don't disgust me. You don't disgust me. So why not?
If I'm gonna
have $1,000, shit.
Get paid. Fuck yeah, I'm paying.
Would you do it?
Keenan, I don't want to forget to say, like, my favorite writer, Charles Bukowski, said, sex is a lot like money. It's only more. It seems to be more important when you don't have
you
it.
said that many times.
Yes, many times.
It's
I've
just
heard
true, dude. It's just true.
Well, that goes for a lot of things. I mean, most things in life, if you don't have it after a while, you start craving for it.
Okay, so you can find a girl who like, I don't know if there's different levels of prostitution as well, if that's what you're looking for. You could be someone's sugar daddy. You could just be.
I don't have enough financially.
It's not sugar daddy nowadays is not like the same thing. No, it's not like what's her name? What Anna Nicole Smith status really? Like there are, but that's those women are employed by like they're going through high class like agencies. And
Wait, so there are sugar daddies who are like just average?
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
What?
Like a couple $100.
You know, I was actually once recommended to an agency for like older women, like really older women, like that I could be their like their chaperone.
I have no problem with that. Even the girl at the club that I met. I mean, but shit, I lost my thought, man. I was gonna ask something. Damn it, Philly.
Sugar daddies.
Yeah,
it's a real thing.
Sugar daddies. You could just pay for play.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say.
Pay for play. That shit like that. Like it's like a couple $100, $300 maybe.
I have a $900 food budget.
Have like a rapport.
Yeah.
Some girls are like,
sorry for some sex. This is literally what you just said. I've got a $900 food budget, so take $600 of that. You know what I mean?
I'll stick to some cup of noodles. Fuck it.
He's running his fucking quick.
Look at how red he's getting.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Look at him cheeks.
I don't know. I've only once ever in my life and this is sad to say, but I've only once ever in my life bought a drink for a girl at a bar.
Well, you're not supposed to really do. Are you?
I know.
That's like a 1950s.
That's because you're that guy, though.
I'm like,
you just think that you're like you are that guy.
I fucking just think I'm God's gift to women, dude.
Sometimes you have,
and that's the way that you've never changed.
Hey, there it is.
It's great when which is so funny because when I get drinks bought for me by girls or in certain cases guys, I think it's like awesome and it's fun. It's so I'm not sure if it's sad or stupid or idiotic, but I just take the drink and just drink it. Like I don't know why. It's like the comfortability is like, oh,
you don't know
got me a drink.
Wait, hold on. You just what do you mean you just drink it?
I say thank you and I take a sip.
Okay. Why is that bad?
Well, it could be laced with something. So they could put in there.
Like drug him or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't accept drinks I didn't see poured.
That's why you gotta get the nail polish so you can dip in. You know what I mean?
Nail polish?
So you can see if it changed color, then it's been drugged.
Why would I put nail polish in my drink?
I didn't know that existed.
I didn't either.
Yeah. There's like a nail polish and there's also a chewing gum that you can
drop in and see if it changes. That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Is pretty
That's great.
That's awesome.
Because I totally
but I just
disagree with the idea of that. That's so fucked up.
I've broken this rule once.
Mm-hmm.
I was 25 or 26. I went to the Roxy. I was stripping at the time, so I was working at the place on La Cienega. I don't know what it's called anymore.
Girls one? La Cienega.
I was working at the club there.
That's next to the taco joint. Never mind. Keep going. We'll talk about that later.
And I left there, and I went to the Roxy because there's someone playing that I wanted to see, and this guy, I don't know why, like he had been at the club, but I didn't realize it until like I took and I didn't watch it poured, and I took a drink, and like within 2 minutes started feeling like whirly, and then I looked at him real hard. I'm like, oh, you're the guy who was sitting over in the corner at the club. And I immediately, I frequented the Roxy at that point in time, so the security knew me, and I like went for a peep. It's not the Roxy, on the Roxy. I was
on the
upstairs.
Roxy.
Okay.
And when I hit that top of the stairs, I just tumbled all the way, and it's a long staircase. Just I can vaguely remember, head over heels, tumbled down and like hit the ground, and they were like, "What's wrong?" And I frequented the place, so they knew like I don't really drink much. I never want to get that drunk, and at the time I knew he's died since, but this tattoo artist across the way at Shamrock, And so I was like telling the bouncer, go get Isaiah. They ran off and got it, and he took me home and took care of me.
That's crazy.
That's good to have friends.
The one time,
and now I never, ever, I was, 15 years later, I don't break that fucking rule.
Yeah. That's fucking crazy, man.
And that is a reality women have to live with. Like, it's crazy.
Men too, though. My sister and her husband were drugged for we don't know what reason when they were just having margaritas at a bar.
But it happens less often to men, though.
It does, but it doesn't mean like it happens.
It does.
It
just
happens.
the idea of someone trying to like pull something
like
you,
that. It's a lot more fun when I'm fucking conscious.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
Hell yeah.
I can get behind that.
Like, I'm an ethical slut. It's not like I would definitely say no. Might.
Wait a minute, what? Gotta think about it.
There's a chance that there's a yes buried in there. Like, you gotta at least like take
just gotta work for it a little bit.
But no, this guy would like again, like, because it's you're not necessarily paying attention. Like, I fucking remembered like when I first started feeling woozy, it's like all came back. I'm like, oh my God, you're that guy. He was like watching me all for my day shift before a day shift, no less.
Fuck
yeah. So just for Philly, not Philly's sakes, but for the idea of girls in bars and guys in bars and meeting together, what is your thoughts on the style of approach? So no buying a girl drink.
Oh, well,
why not?
No, that was a bad look on me.
He doesn't buy a girl a drink because he's a bit of an asshole.
Yeah, damn.
You should definitely offer to buy a girl a drink.
Oh, okay.
However, this is my other rule. I will, if I am inclined to accept your drink, then I am prepared to have a conversation with you until I finish that drink.
Wait, so,
as men, we shouldn't have that expectation.
You shouldn't have that. You shouldn't have that expectation. Don't be a douchebag, and she won't walk away. If they're a douchebag, I will walk away. If you give me a reason to walk away, I will. But I know girls that and walk away. Mm-hmm. I think that's very rude. Mm-hmm. Don't accept the drink then, because you know that buying a drink is a social norm. Don't be a fucking bitch. Talk to the guy. He's offering to buy you a drink. He's not Phil, so he might not be an asshole.
And the drink that I bought was a Tecate.
Okay, here's the question. Here's the question.
She asked for it. It wasn't even me. I said, get her whatever she wants. She's a Tecate, and that's why I was like,
okay.
That's what you want?
What was it about that girl that made you want to buy her a drink? I just
never done it, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to fucking because I usually just go and just talk to him.
And why don't you do it now?
Because he can usually just go and talk to them.
Yeah, I'll usually just go talk to them, or to be honest, like I'm just generally not interested in that for my life right now at all. Like in general, I'm just like focused on like the grind, and I don't know. I seek validation in other places, and I don't know. It's not healthy per se. The idea of seeking validation is still something that's wrong in general, but everybody does it to some degree.
Yeah.
In every aspect of their life, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so I'm just highly aware of that, and so I don't know. I don't find. It's fucked up, but I don't find that I need to play by certain social norms if I understand that those social norms are used as protections for something else. Mm-hmm. And so if I can create a circumstance where a conversation happens naturally, I will.
Yes.
And then I always buy food though. Like if we'll go somewhere, like, oh, you hungry? Whatever, like something like that. Like, you hungry, girl?
But you've already engaged.
Yeah.
In that. You've already engaged.
But so for Keenan, who has a bit of social anxiety and approaching the girl, not social, but like the approach of the girl kind of anxiety. No, not social. Absolutely not. But like you've got like you're not quite sure. This is a good way to gauge interest, is to buy her a drink. And if she walks away, she's not interested. If she stays, she could be.
And you're talking the stance of, I see her at the bar and I walk up to her out of nowhere and be like, hey, can I buy you a drink or something like that?
I mean, first ask her name.
Oh yeah.
First pay her a compliment.
Yeah, be like, yeah.
That's also a social norm.
Hi, I'm Keenan.
Yes, but this is where, but everyone's approach is different.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say
everyone's approach has to be different because you're different people. You might not need that, Phil. Sure, it's the eyebrows. It's the eyebrows that gets him.
I've bought drinks before. Yeah, I've had to.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure
I bought a drink for a dude. Shit.
See, that's awesome.
Yeah,
God, when that happens,
awesome.
I feel like I'm like the man. Like it's so.
He said,
it's
"Dumb
so-
man."
It was wild. It was wild. I would have gave. It's funny because that makes me. I'm not sure it makes me, but I totally full on slut bag. If you buy me a drink, I'm whipping it out whenever you need it. If you want it, you got it. Just, ladies, listen to me. If you buy me a drink, you get the D, guaranteed.
But we don't know if we want that D yet.
Yeah, I was joking.
Because there's like a whole
just
other
opening up
thing
the possibilities.
around.
You see, the drink will invite a conversation that will then allow you to create a sort of tension
Atmosphere.
and charm
Yeah.
where
you have to like
Besides,
you
do that
have
without
you
the
have
drink.
you have to get the girl away and strike up a conversation.
Right.
like you can't be pervy with it.
Yeah.
You have to. It's almost like the art of a tease. Like it's like you gotta tease it.
And you're not. It is numbers. I know, just like
That's
another
true.
non-feminist thing. It is numbers, but
Non-feminist?
I have too many feminist girlfriends who are like, I don't want dudes walk. I'm just trying to have fun. I'm like, how do I know what I want? I don't want the guy who's too timid to come up to me
Ooh,
necessarily. It's not always true. Sometimes.
Or
at least
it's
no. So, because I'm also a little bit dudeish, where I'm like the hunt a little bit too.
Right.
You're a little assertive.
I will see the mark.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have notches on my belt, and I'm like, see him?
Damn.
He's fine. I fucked him, and I could have him again, but I don't want him. I'm not a
Goddamn right, sister. You goddamn right.
You do that to dudes, Joe?
No, that's shut up.
Joe's got a couple of notches on his belt.
but you've got to have like, it's
No,
just the
she's a
way
hunter.
that norm,
I'm a
that
hunter,
norm.
I get it.
And then, like there are times where you shouldn't be as cautious as you seem to be. I don't know because I'm not there with you. Just like listening though, there are times, like with the girl that had the friends and just whisked her away.
Yeah. Damn, that was a close one. Gosh, that was the one that bought me a drink and everything. And I know she was older than me. But most of my friends were like, "Oh, really, Kim?" I was like, "Yeah." She was super
Sweet,
Yeah.
everybody else, bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I definitely had my share of no's but that later were like from high school, like I didn't know if I was allowed to like you because you're so different.
Yo, Kenan, fuck everyone else. Like if there's if someone is saying, "Hey, let's have a good time," and it's all consensual, like fuck it, have a great time.
She
man.
definitely offered to go back to her house and drink wine. I was like, damn, that was my
That's it, bro.
chance.
But
her
yeah,
friends
you
really-
definitely should have like, hold on a second.
Yeah, like,
I don't want to take her, but I really would like to get in contact with her again.
Exactly.
And like to be able to say that,
Yeah,
because dudes come up and they're like, look, like
I'll say it
sometimes
just
it's
like
wearing
that.
it down, sometimes it's
Yada, yada, yada.
She's like,
Yada,
yes.
yada.
I'm still keeping my fucking mouth shut.
Yeah, I definitely should have.
Woo! Look, Kenan.
Yeah.
Unspoken. I think
It definitely got away. I've learned my lesson from that. I'm not disagreeing with anything that you guys are saying.
Yeah.
Just be yourself because you're super charming and you're like the guy to know, but don't be timid about it. Like,
Great advice.
don't be timid. If you think she's dope, tell her, I think you're dope and I don't want to lose track of you tonight. So let's exchange numbers now if that's all right.
Yeah,
with
I'm not
you.
trying to take you home. Or
And if
anything
she's
tonight.
like, no, I don't know yet, then be like, okay, do you mind if I buy you a drink so we can talk?
Can I do that with the bar girl?
You probably can't buy the bartender.
Yeah.
Sometimes
you can buy the bartender a drink.
Yeah,
Off
sometimes.
With the
duty?
bar girl, just but you have like it's your neighborhood bar, right?
No. This is
you
all
have
the
to
way
go
out
all the way away.
fucking
Oh, don't go there too
Cinnamon.
often then, because then it seems stalkerish. But like,
yeah.
See, we
not
didn't know
too
that at the beginning.
often. Not
Well,
too often. If you live far away, then
Very
don't.
far
If it's
away.
your neighborhood bar, perfect. See, sorry, I
you're
keep
good.
bumping.
Oh,
your
my
shit.
neighborhood bars are kind of not trashy, but they're kind of trashy.
Where do you live? What area?
I live
In the
in
valley.
I live in Tarzana.
Tarzana. Okay,
Yeah,
that's right. I remembered that, but I don't know.
I'm nearby.
You do stuff at the Canby. Or
Okay,
you
so
have.
okay, we're gonna. I'll brush over this quick, but fuck the Canby and everything it represents.
Oh,
and I hate that place, and I hope it burns down and with no insurance.
I would love to hear that story because I'm like on a rail as a performer and producer.
They do burlesque there.
Yeah, I will be there Thursday. I won't be performing, but I will be there representing as the voice.
And as knowing you and as awesome as you are, I'd be like, I'm totally down to share that great experience.
But you don't want to go there.
I'm not stepping anywhere near that place.
That's fine. I get it. I feel you. I would love to know what that is because a friend of mine produces that show there.
I might have met them too. I met the ladies who were doing the burlesque thing.
Brandy Snifter.
Don't remember the name. I was drunk. Sorry.
Keenan tends to be.
Yeah, but I'm over by Pete's and Maui's Saloon, Maui's Sun Saloon.
I'm not real familiar. Okay. I know it can be, and that's it. Yeah. I go up there for work.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty much it.
I don't go up there at all.
He's never even been over the mountain.
Yeah, I just don't like to.
Yeah, but the bar lady, it is far away from my place, but it's someone that I can see and I would like to be more closely with. However, I can't, but most of the time I'm there on Sundays. But I haven't been there in a while. But I already have the number and we communicate very little. It's not as responsive as I was hoping it to be.
Oh, you already got the number. What are you responding? Like, I need to see your text messages. I need to see what.
Oh no, the text messages are really just generic about what she's doing. Like, for instance, this is really gonna give it away, but
she doesn't listen to this podcast. We can kind of guarantee that she doesn't listen to this podcast.
She tends to be a person who cares about the environment. And
and does a lot of environmental stuff.
Extracurricular activity happens to be environmentally friendly, and that's how Keenan got in.
And most of our conversations are about that. Never about, hey, what movie did you see? Where did you go hang out last time?
Who are you letting lead those conversations?
I, at the beginning, would try and ask these questions and see if I get a response back, but the responses usually were days to even sometimes like a week later. Yeah. Right. It wasn't same day. If it was, it was like hours past when I already presented.
Hours is fine. Days is not.
Yeah. Yep.
I wouldn't fuck with it.
Yeah. Hours is fine.
Hours, dude, just
that's crazy.
And like, yo, bartender, what is she drinking? Go. Can you put her on my tab, man? And then when she gets the drink and she's like, what is this? So and he points to you and just, wave. And if she waves back, walk over. And
you can try again. She did give you, but it's over Instagram.
No.
Or is it a number?
It's a number.
Okay. She gave you your number. Yeah, I would go back and chat her up. She might want to see if you're gonna come back.
It's about the spark, Keenan.
It's
create a juice.
You've got to put yourself there. You've got to like, I don't know. It's like this whole thing of like, don't talk to me as creating these pussy. Not that you're a pussy, but it's hard.
I've been called that
I
many
know,
times.
but I realize that it makes it difficult to tell what you should and shouldn't be doing. Where I just feel like more women should stand their ground a lot better. And if a dude then still crosses the boundary that you've enforced, elbow, whatever, the eye, stab him, heel in the fucking eyeball, whatever, like that you asked for it if you cross the boundary that's been set. But there are too many people, men and women, that are too scared to be like, I don't like this, or I don't want, like, no, I'm not interested. There are lots of women I know that like, for gain of other, because women, we know that we can get like free drinks and we work that shit. We know.
Y'all do sometimes.
That is our privilege.
You're absolutely privileged.
It's a nice privilege.
It is our privilege. Y'all can make more money. You guys can make more money, and then you buy us drinks.
Damn.
Exactly.
I need to make some more money.
Nah, man.
Yeah.
It's like it's hard to, because remember, it's a primitive experience that you're looking to activate in someone, right? That you can enter through the mind, through conversation. You can have a way with words. You can do all that. You can also just have a presence about you that the point is to avoid awkward unless it's funny awkward. You know, the point is to feel at home, to feel comfortable, and to when you look, see them for who they really are. Don't look at them and hope they don't see you for who you really are.
Dude, yeah. Like
He gave some good
be
advice
you in
for
all
us.
your glory. And don't be worried, because if she's not into you, then she's not the one for you.
Yeah, I think that's probably the only advice anybody should give another person. Just be you, unapologetically.
But there, you can give tools. Like we're not giving advice. We're giving tools. We're giving like things that you can have in your pocket. That's how I look at
I guess
it. Like
I've got something like that.
I have lines. Legit, I got lines.
I mean, like,
because what's gonna work for me isn't gonna work for you,
right?
You know, or what works for Philly.
Try it out.
You know,
isn't gonna work for anybody else.
Yeah.
That's not true. No, I'm teasing. No, dude. See, you could have. It doesn't matter if you buy your expensive fishing rod and whatever the fuck and all that. Like, it really comes down to a certainty about who you are, and more importantly, seeing that person for real,
for who they are.
Like really see them, and people will know that they've been seen for who they really are. That's it, man. Like, but you got to show up in like she said, in all your glory. You got to be present. Very Buddhist. Like, be present, be confident about what it is you want, and more importantly, make sure you help people feel at home with you, man. Like, there's a degree of like, make sure people feel at home, but not in a way where like nothing will ever fucking
this
happen
just turned into like a Keenan fucking session again.
I am seriously starting to consider giving like doing the dating advice thing.
I'm sorry, man. I should shut the fuck up.
No, it's not.
No. Okay,
Right.
so I had a girlfriend.
I caught them both doing some funny shit that just made me laugh. So I was first staring at Joe, and then he was doing some funny shit, and then and she was doing some funny shit, and I just couldn't.
Philly gets into his bag and
I've done a lot of work personally on myself, man, and I've got a long way to go.
I feel you on that, Phil. I do feel you on that.
I just.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get to our soapbox talks. And with the soapbox talk, Kiva, I'm sure you're familiar with our soapbox talks. You have the floor for as long as you need to for anything you want to talk about, anything you want to shout out, anything you want to promote. We want you
to pick one thing.
You could, I mean, whatever you want to air out.
This is your time to talk about
your
the things that you want to say.
We can't talk back or say anything about your
any
stuff.
social media you want to plug, anything. It's you.
It's your reward for
whatever's on your mind. Yeah.
I mean, you can find me at Sheila Siani Burlesque on the Instagrams. But also, I just want to say that my 40th birthday is July 16th, and I'm performing as much as I possibly can during the month of July. So go look at my social media to find where I'm performing at, because I'm actually thinking about only performing Prince numbers, which would be great. But I don't know if the producers would like that very much. I have so many Prince acts that a lot of my stuff isn't online because it's to Prince music, so it can't exist online. Oh, that was good. Did the mic pick that up? Oh shit. Other than that, okay, I had an experience in Vegas, and I'm really, really pissed about it. And I went to this new club at Park MGM called On the Record. I was really stoked to go because I know that like Questlove DJs there, and that hip hop is not huge on the Strip. And if it is hip hop, then it's like trap. And so this is kind of more like soul, neo soul kind of vibe, something that I can actually dance to. But I went and I left my event that I was at, and I got a whole new outfit on, and one thing, fucking Uber owes me $5.15 because 3 fucking Uber drivers dropped me while I'm standing right there waiting. And then when the other one got me there, like I I went to On the Record because they advertised on Prince's birthday on Friday night that they were doing on one section of their place, Prince. They're open till 4 a.m. They never stated what time they were going to stop playing Prince. And they stopped. I arrived at 12:45 and they stopped at 1:05. And I'm so mad that I'm like, if you're promoting something that's very special, that people are buying tickets, like it specifically says, so if you're planning on not playing Prince all night long, let me know what time I need to get there by before I spend $65 in a night for being really disappointed with badly mixed Prince. Sorry.
Facts. So on the record, you need to do your job.
Damn it.
God damn it, on the record.
I left too. I was like, well, because I had a photo shoot in the morning, and it was worth it to stay up till 4 a.m., 5 a.m. to dance to Prince all night, but not if it was like whatever the fuck else they were playing.
Thank
fuck
you.
That. Yeah, fuck on the record.
Filthy?
Welcome.
You guys
I'm sorry, Keenan.
Sorry,
Keenan.
Go ahead, Keenan.
Shit, I was hoping to skip you, see what would happen. It would be something new. All right. Well, my soapbox is a couple things. I'll just say them real quick. Is Marcus Aurelius DJ'd last night at the Other Door at a place called the Other Door, and it was a silent disco, and it was super awesome. I highly encourage people to go to this silent disco where you wear headsets and you can flip between like 3 different DJs and dance all crazy. Watch out though, because some drunk girls were there, and one of them hit me in the balls, and it really hurt. And it stung for like 10 minutes.
I've done that.
It felt like, oh,
on
thank
accident.
you.
Not like on purpose. Sorry. Not
okay. It was an accident for her too. She felt really, really bad about it. It wasn't you, was it? No. It was a different place. But it was it just made me think about people
Just have an earthquake.
No. People in drinking. And I a lot of times when I see these things, I agree with Philly. It's like some people just can't handle their shit. And another girl spilled her drink on my suit when I was wearing that night. And as apologetic as people are, it's just like, I don't know, in my mind, it's like, how could you even allow yourself to get there, or why even do it, or why even like, where are the friends, the support system? What's going on to have you get to this method of that it's okay to be this way, and to have it affect other people around you, not just yourself, even though you're having a good time and whatnot. But I just wanted to say that my balls hurt really bad. And they chimed. They almost like they were like singing bowls. It just couldn't. It was bad. But
did they need a kiss?
He wasn't ready.
Oh my god! Why are my pants off all of a sudden? It was no, and also I like the movie Can't Hardly Wait. I watched that last night.
What the fuck?
That was random.
Just want to say it was a fun movie. It's a very fun movie. It's a 90s movie, but it was like, it makes fun of itself, but it's also good. It's a rom-com. And turns out, I don't know why my voice cracked.
Because you're watching rom-coms.
By myself at night.
Thinking about Carmen kissing your balls.
God damn it. Anyway, so to end my soapbox, Marcus Aurelius is playing on the 21st.
He's got like 3 things.
Yeah, I'm trying to go through them quickly, but I don't know. He's playing on the 21st in Palos Verdes, and yeah.
Thank you. Filthy. Go ahead.
Oh wow. How am I supposed to follow that up? Honestly, man, I never prepare something, man.
How do you keep saying that? It's starting to get boring. Just talk. It's not profound anymore.
It's not.
God
it's not. That's part of the reason why I'm saying this, and I think that it's easy to forget in today's world to really take some time to calm the fuck down, unplug, and go do some shit that you're always dreaming about doing. Like, I work so much at this point, and I know a lot of people do, but I just like, I want to go to the beach sometimes, but I just don't. And I just want to go to the beach to chill on the sand at night to hear the waves on some super California shit. And I never do it. But every time I do it, I'm always glad that I do. And I think it's important that you pay attention to those little things that whisper to you like that say, hey, sleep in an extra hour, or whatever it is your fucking body or your heart is trying to tell you. Because I'm not a person that really listens to shit like that. I'm always like, nah, I got to get this done. And so if you are that type of person, I encourage you to really open up to that, because I'm starting to see that really is beginning to affect the quality of my life. So, yeah.
Dope. All right, Filthy. That was short and sweet. Like it. I like it. First and foremost, I want to thank Kiva for coming out, joining us this week. We had some fucking fun today.
That was, yeah.
Man, we've had some laughs. I loved it. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I'm gonna talk about the about social media and fake news. Now, for me, so I guess today or yesterday, it was stated that Bushwick Bill had passed away. Now, Bushwick Bill, he's with the Ghetto Boys. I'm sure a lot of us know who he is or who they are. So he had passed away. He had been fighting cancer. That's what was said. So today, people who are actually related to him say, "Yo, no, he's not dead." But it was stated on one little article somewhere or some off, media bullshit that he had passed away. So everybody took to it. Everybody started giving their praises to Bushwick Bill and how we're gonna miss him and R.I.P. and all that bullshit. And then they come out and say, "Yo, he's not dead. Like, he's still fighting cancer and he's still alive, but he's not dead." And that just goes to show that, like, we're quick to respond to something and we don't cross-reference, we don't check, we don't fact check, and it just takes off. If one influencer says, "Yo, this happened," we automatically already turn it on and say, "Oh, our condolences." We start crying and bullshit, and we just have to fact check, guys. Everybody, we just have to fact check. Don't respond to something if you don't know. I'm glad I waited. I'm glad I waited because I would have been one of those people that would have been like, "Yo, R.I.P." So yeah, just fact check. Make sure that your sources are indeed reliable before you look like a dumbass. And we look like a dumbass here a lot because we just talk bullshit. But that's the point of this podcast.
Journalism.
Yeah, we're not
journalists.
But
the guys of journalists.
Exactly. But exactly, the guy's a journalist. So just fact check and don't look like an idiot. This is the NOOB podcast. We're going to look like idiots all the time, but that's the point of none of our business, and that's what it is. With that, this has been episode 29 of the None of Our Business podcast.
I want some toast.
Oh. One, two, Philly on the mic now. Eat your woman out.